Hey, Yekcyr. Hey, Yekcyr.
Father, get us out of here. 400 years we have lived in a state of fear. The police hung us like we're deer. Yekcyr has shed so many tears. Yahuwah, we need you. Yahusha, we need you. Yahuwah, our Aloha, deliverer. America with the triple K. Judgment surely is coming your way. For 400 years oppressed, for 400 years distress. Away white supremacy will fall, Babylon will fall, America will fall. Yahuwah burn it all down, Yahusha burn it down. Bring fire and pestilence to every heathen that's around. We had enough, oh my Father, how much longer, oh why? Oh, it don't make sense, Father, we need some recompense. Burn it down, Babylon, burn it down, Abba, burn it down. Oh, yeah. My down. My baby, yeah. 400 years. To hell with Donald Trump, hair slicked back like Donald Duck. Kamala Harris ain't black, I ain't siding with no Democrats. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, whoa, yeah, ayy, look, yeah. All esteem to your Uwa, ayy. He the highest, the allure, ayy. Baruch Shamka, Yahuwah is the highest, Ualua Heka. Look, yo, I'm living out the Torah, ayy, yeah. Ayy, it's lit like menorah, ayy, yeah. Alam Barak Hasham, Kakabura Binu, yeah, my trust is in him. Yahushua HaMashiach, he the land that was lynched. He the land that was lynched. Yahushua HaMashiach, he the land that was lynched. He's hung from a tree of pressure, making more sense. Yahushua HaMashiach died a black man's death. The Romans want him dead cause he stood as a threat. Yahushua HaMashiach died a black man's death. The lamb that was lynched cause he stood as a threat. All esteem to Yahuwah, ayy. He the highest, the allure, ayy. Baruch Shamka. Yahuwah is the highest, U'alua Heka. All esteem to Yahuwah, ayy. He the highest, the Alua, ayy. Baruch Shamka. Yahuwah is the highest, U'alua Heka.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Yeah. Hey, we scatter Yahudim in a country that's racist. And my people not indigenous, we came on them slave ships. You hate your own people, now you cooning, buffooning. Sample, shuffle, buck dancing, yeah, I see how you moving. If you say you FBA, I am FBAK. All these niggas is some agents, my nigga FBAK. And the richer get richer, and the poorer get poorer. And the children of the devil bring the new world order. White supremacy, sour cream, and jar of the mayo. Whitewash the Messiah, and they said it's not racial. And the hell with these heathens, I ain't trusting no heathen. And the most I judge our enemies, especially Edom. Look, black radical, the rest, but I'm sabbatical. Pro-black, oh snap, why power so laughable? Willie Lynch trauma, yeah, that'll bring that matter flow. No redacted raps, cause my rap tactics is practical. Rebel to the system, yeah, oppression is symptom. White folks thought the truth, would it come to just lynch them? Liberation and freedom, is it coming from Edom? And Yahushua HaMashiach, all the slaves, he will free them. Yeah, black radical, black radical. Black radical, black radical. Black radical, black radical. Black radical, I'm black radical.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Genesis 6:2-4 in Swahili. Wana wa Mungu waliowaona binti za wanadamu kuwa ni wazuri, wakajitwalia wake wowote waliochagua. Bwana akasema, roho yangu haitashindana na mwanadamu milele, kwa kuwa yeye naye ni nyama, basi siku zake zitakuwa 120. Nao wanaofia.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Yeah. I'm at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah. Pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah. Barely letting them breathe. We at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah. Pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah. Barely letting them breathe. Yahuwah bring destruction on the Nephilim seed. Yeah. They all left to their greed. It's destruction on the heathen for they theft and they deeds. Yeah. They oppress and deceive. Colonizer cave dweller is the Nephilim seed. Ay, it's straight down to their seed, and they only bring destruction to the poor and in need. Yeah, they leave our mothers to grieve.
Most High protect us, Bantus from Nephilim seed. He Mungu, usituache watoto wako. Inuka he watu wangu, malipo yanakaribia. All praises to the Most High. He is forever esteemed.
Yeah. I'm at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah. Pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah. Barely letting them breathe. We at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah. Pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah. Barely letting them breathe. I'm at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah, pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah, barely letting them breathe. We at war with the Nephilim seed. Yeah, pale Nephilim seed, divine judgment from Yahuwah, he ain't letting them breathe. Yeah, barely letting them breathe.
Hey, Yekcyr. Hey, Yekcyr.
Yo, I rest on the 7th day, as surely as a Sunday. One path to Yahuwah and Yahusha is the one way. Narrow path, step and stay on track like a subway. Yahusha crack the sky with the Malakim someday. Dietary laws, ain't no eating swine flesh. Yahusha garment staining blood like the wine press. The heathens crying out, strong delusion, they the blindest. These heathens can't keep Jesus, not appease in the slightest. Feast days, moral laws, keeping the Shabbats. Don't follow the ways of Edom, by Yahusha's blood I'm bought. Jesus is a big Virgin Mary, don't need her. Yekcyr spin the block on the devil with the heater. Covenant keeper, the Ruach is my teacher. Yahuwah the creator, worship him and not the creature. Christianity can't be any same old difference. You call on pagan names and you call yourself bishops. Heathens in these camps, Jacob giving up his birthright. Hugged up with these nations, white bodied like a termite. Reject the Messiah, yeah, your doctrine is Jewish. Scum of the earth, cause that doctrine is sewage. Yahusha in the Torah, you can't see it, you foolish. Committed to Yahuwah, it's a fact that I do this. You are my enemy if you an enemy of Torah. Destruction for the wicked, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, ain't no new ways, doctrine, no chakras, no auras. The Apocrypha, I read it, I explore it like Dora. I'm a strong black man with biblical values. Fulfill doesn't mean abolish, yeah, I'm quoting out Matthew. I'm not a patriot, I am fearing the lure. 24 and forever, my king is Yahusha. I don't care about America, she surely gon' fall. And the ops gon' hate you when you Kadashi you called. Yahusha 24, always and forever. To Yahuwah I surrender, my life has been better. Put no trust in no man, nor you are a curse. All esteem to Yahuwah, ayy, I put him first. Yeah, whoa, ayy. Yahusha 24, ayy, it's Yahusha 24, ayy. Yahusha 24, Yahusha 24, Yahusha 24. All esteem to Yahuwah in the highest. Baruch haba Basham Yahuwah. Baruch atah King Yahusha.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Yo, what is up, YouTube family? What is good, bro? Listen, first, let me just say thank you to everybody who has reached out to make sure I'm okay. I'm good, bro. I'm definitely good, but I appreciate you guys who showed concern. People are like, bro, you good, Ak? You good? Your family good? Family, I'm doing totally fine, bro. Like, sometimes, bro, you got to just leave YouTube for a little bit and just focus on Yahuwah, family, and other things. And that's what I've been doing. So I'm back. Now, here's the thing, bro. Shout out to everybody who's on Patreon. If you are on my Patreon, then you know I have not stopped making videos. I had not stopped making content. I just haven't been making it here on YouTube. But on Patreon, I've been doing so many documentaries, deep dives, and all of that. As a matter of fact, I wanted to tell you guys that don't know, if you're not on my Patreon, I highly suggest you join it. We do live streams there every week, and I like it because YouTube, bro, honestly, YouTube is not fun anymore like it used to be. There's just too much they're changing, too much copyright on Patreon, bro. We do movie nights.
can talk about whatever we want. I do several live streams. I can talk about uncensored stuff. I can talk about the Rev 2939s. I ain't got to bite my tongue. Just dropped this 6-hour documentary about cloning. It will not be here on YouTube. So if you want to support your boy, join the Patreon. As a matter of fact, I'm working on another Patreon video about Candace Owens. I actually have a little bit of a preview I'm going to share with everybody. So give me a one if y'all want me. I'll do it after the lesson because the lesson, we got a lot to do. We got a lot to jump into. So we're going to get to that. But give me a one if y'all want me to show you a preview of this Candace Owens video. It's going to be just a little teaser. I'll do like the first 20 minutes like I did with the cloning documentary. Give me a one if y'all want to see that. But it will have to wait until after we're done with all of this because we got a big old lesson to get into. But if y'all would like to see that, bro, I got you. Okay, y'all want that. Okay. I'm just trying to get more people, bro. Somebody said, I don't understand the levels on Patreon. So let me just try to make it, summarize it. So basically on Patreon, you can join any tier. So you can join the cheapest tier, you can join the middle tier, or you can join the highest tier. No matter which tier you join, you will be able to access the majority of what's on there. So it doesn't really matter how much you pay. You feel what I'm saying? It really honestly doesn't. I just give people options to pay as much as they want, or, you know, the smallest amount doesn't matter. You can access most of the content, you know what I'm saying? If you are just on the regular tier or just any tier, you can access it. Now, the highest tier, which is $50 a month, you don't have to do that, bro. But if you do the highest tier, you get access to even the paid stuff. Like there's some stuff on there that are behind paywalls, like the truth about the deity of the Edomites. I had another video about Kendrick Lamar and, you know, like the deeper stuff. You can get it. You can watch it for free and access it if you're on the highest tier. If you're on the lower tier, there's probably like 3 or 4 videos you won't be able to see unless you pay for them. But everything else on there is like, you know, you can watch. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just consider joining, bro. You know what I mean? Because listen, I'm still gonna be on here, but I'm gonna definitely do Patreon. We just have way more fun on there. You know what I mean? Without these trolls, without these heathens, without these naysayers, you know what I'm saying? Over there, bro, it's a family and it's fun and it's lit. So, bro, you want to see me more? You want more of what I used to do on here? Come to Patreon, all right? Patreon.com/HeyYekcyr. Wait until after Shabbat. No buying or selling. Wait until after Shabbat. But join me on Patreon. That's where I've been at. That's where I've been uploading content. And shout out to all the people, bro, who's on there, bro. The real ones, bro, they know I never stop making content. I just stopped making it on here. You feel me? But I'm on there, though. So, there. All right. So, look, y'all. We gonna jump into this, bro. Listen. I'm going to do this for old time's sake. I haven't done Yahuwah's Palal because I haven't been on here. You feel me? So we're going to do Yahuwah's Palal in Hebrew, Abarith, and then we'll do English, and then we'll jump into this lesson because this one, very, very important. And, you know, we'll get into all of that, but just understand this is going to be a long lesson, bro. It's a lot of stuff I got to show y'all, a lot of scriptures we're going to go through. So just be ready. It's going to be a full course meal. You know, for return, bro, I had to come back. Few announcements. The Nephilim Series song that I played right before I came on, that song is out on all platforms. So if you want to listen to it, it's called the Nephilim Series. All right. On all platforms. Black Radical, which is the song I played before Nephilim Series, will be out next Friday. So even though I haven't really been on here, it don't mean I'm not working. I'm always working. I never stop, bro. I never stop. I never let myself be too, like, you know, I never let a lot of time go by where I'm not, like, you know, doing something. So let's pray. Close your eyes, bow your head. Let's do this Hebrew prayer. Abinu, Bashamayim, Yakadashamka, Malakuska Bawa, Yarauka, Alaratskan, Bashamayim, Natan Lanu, Hayum At, Lakamba Hasarak, Usala Lanu, Lakatenu, Lanu Salakatan, Lakatekan, Kara Lanu, Apara Lanu Lata'a, Abu Uyasha Lanu Marasha. La Malakuska Shalat, Haka Uhakabad, Bahasham, Aka Shamut, Yaoa, Oya Osha. Aman. Our Father in heaven, separated is your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth, so it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who commit sins against us. and lead us not astray, but rescue us from all evil. For your kingdom reigns, the power and esteem, in the name above all names, Yahuwah, Yahusha, Akan, Aman. All praises. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Now, as I said, if you stick around after I'm done with this whole lesson, we will watch this Patreon video I'm working on about Candace Owens. So let's get into it. Shout out to, let me get my shouts outs, bro. Got to get my shouts out. All right. So, man, we got a lot of people in here, bro. All praises, bro. Thank y'all, bro. Hebrew girl is here. Shalom, sister. AETTH. To those who don't know what AETTH is, all esteem to the highest Yahuwah, or all esteem to the highest is AETTH. Shalom to you, my sister. Good to see you. Yanatha's here. Oh, snap. Shabbat shalom, sister. Shabbat shalom, mashpaka. All esteem to Yahuwah. All esteem to Yahuwah, sis. Good to see you. Renee Yahoo is here. Shalom, shalom, sister. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Well, I mean, let's be honest. It's been a minute for a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been on this thing, but good to see you, sis. Tawanda's here. All esteem to the Most High Yahuwah, Yahushua Mashiach forever. Yes, yes, yes. Shabbat shalom, my sister. We have TY777 in the building. Shabbat shalom, my brother. Batiyah Bayaya Sharal. Shabbat shalom, sis. Queen Raya is here. Shabbat shalom, sis. Good to see you. Shanice is here. Shalom, sis. Shabbat shalom. Big brother DW Page is in the building. My brother, good to see you, man. All praises, man. Shabbat shalom, Aki. Adara is here. Shabbat shalom. Got Renee. Let's see. Dennis, what's up, Ak? All praises, big homie right here, man. Shabbat shalom, Aki. Good to see you. A new person I've never seen before. Welcome back, Yekcyr. Charity Lawler. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, sister. Shabbat shalom to you. Thank you. Welcome back. It's good to be back, man. All praises. The Ak Zakar Yahu Yasharal is here. What's up, Aki? Shabbat shalom to you, brother. Let's see. Yahudi Blue is here. Shabbat shalom, sis. Shout out to you and the hubby. All praises to the Most High. Good to see you as always, my sister. Let's see. True is Yah. Truth is Yah. Okay. Shabbat shalom to you. All praises. Welcome, welcome. Yahudi Sunshine is here. Shalom, sister. Good to see you. Nefertiti, one of our Patreon. I recognize the name. Shabbat shalom to you, sis. Gift of Yahusha Mathoth Yahu. All praises. He says, how do I join Patreon? I will join next month. I usually have the link in description. Honestly, I did not put it in this description box, but if you come back for the replay, you know what I'm saying, I'll have the link and all that. But I usually have them the link in the description box and the pinned comment below. So to everybody who doesn't know, usually every video I do on here in the description box and the pinned comment, I have all the links to everything. So but I'll have it when I get done with this. I'll for the replay. If you come back for the replay, it'll be there. Milo, Shabbat Shalom. Howard, Shabbat Shalom. Linda, Shabbat Shalom. Praise to the Most High. Thanks so much for clarification. You're welcome, sister. Tam Tom. Shabbat Shalom to you, sister. Good to see you. All praises. Bantu Queen is in the building. All praises to the Most High. We are the Bantus. Barak Hashem Yahuwah. All praises. All praises, all praises, all praises. All right, let's see. Who else? Yaz Salaki. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just excited. Okay. Yaz Michelle Yajershel. She's been here for a minute. Hey, sis. All praises. Good to see you. Shabbat shalom. Bianca's here. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, sis. Okay. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah. Shabbat shalom. Okay. All right, y'all. I can't get everybody, so if I missed you, Salaki, my apologies. But we got to jump into this, man. We got a good lesson today, family. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this. Please hit the like button. Y'all know what it is. Business as usual. You feel me? So today, our lesson is going to be on the Israelite woman understanding the Proverbs 31 woman. Now, let me just say this real quick before I get deep into this. This message is more so for the brothers out there. Those of y'all who are looking for wives, those of you Israelite men out there that are looking for a daughter of Zion to take for a wife in this truth. However, this message is also applicable to our sisters, married and unmarried. It's applicable to men who are married and unmarried, but it's also applicable to our sisters. And I'm only talking to Israelite women. I'm not talking to no other woman outside, you know what I'm saying, our people, all right? But this message is applicable to men and women, both married and unmarried, who are of the nation of Yasharal, so-called Israel, all right? So let's go ahead and let's jump into this. All right, family. Okay. So I want you guys to hear everything that I'm going to bring out in this message. It's a lot to talk about, but this is a very important thing. And honestly, I'm going to be doing the next episode I do is going to be on the righteous husband. We're talking about the righteous wife today. So sisters, do not think I'm singling you out if I call out some things, because we have to also talk about sisters finding a righteous Israelite husband. So we will be doing our brothers in the next episode that I do, but this one is going to be for our sisters. All right. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump in. All right. Oh, wait, real quick. Is my audio good? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Hey, mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Give me a one if I'm good, y'all. Am I straight? Am I Gucci? You good? All praises. All praises. Okay. I should have did that like, initially, but y'all know how it goes sometimes. You feel me? Okay. So here we go. Let's get to it. All right. So when an Israelite man is seeking a wife, it is important to understand what a righteous wife is. And that is oftentimes what is referred to as the Proverbs 31 woman. It is imperative for Israelite men to understand that there are certain characteristics you should be looking for in an Israelite woman to know if she will be a good wife or not, according to Scripture. The more a woman reflects these traits that we will discuss, the more she is a woman to consider, truly knows the Most High, and one to consider for a wife. But one thing I will say is not every woman that is an Israelite is a Proverbs 31 woman. Let me say it again. There's a lot of sisters who say, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman, but we're going to find out if that's actually true today. So let's go ahead and jump into this. All right. Now, as I said, if you are a married Israelite man or woman, or an unmarried Israelite man or woman watching this video, there is much that can be learned from this video. And I will also provide some scriptural examples of righteous women in the scriptures to paint a vivid picture of what a righteous wife should look like. Now, this is not a teaching that I'm doing for our brothers to make excuses to marry other nations just because some of the sisters they deal with do not exude these characteristics. It is foolish. Let me say it again. It is foolish to paint all of our women the exact same way. Hopefully, this will help our brothers to stop wasting their time on women who do not want to be wives. Because guarantee you, if there is a sister out here who don't want to be a wife, there are so many sisters who want to be one. And on the other hand, I pray that this episode will better show Israelite women who they need to be if they desire to be married and become a wife. Now, as I said already, this ain't got nothing to do with heathens, all right? It is a sin to marry other nations. If you follow this channel, you understand that this channel does not support marrying non-Israelite women. Our Torah explicitly forbids it, and returning to Yahuwah is obeying his law, especially when it comes to the daughters of Lucifer. We already know who that is, so-called white people. We were commanded by Yahuwah not to mix with other nations and marry our people only. For more information on this topic, links in description. I did not put the links here, but if you're watching replay, they will be in the description if you want to watch videos I've done about why we should not mix, why does this sin to mix, and even what to do if you are with a heathen. Maybe you didn't know the truth. Maybe you didn't know who they were. Maybe you didn't realize that you were an Israelite and you married these for marriage. And, you know what I'm saying, the Torah tells you how to deal with that. But that's another topic. Let's keep going. Now, contrary to popular belief, a woman's beauty is not one of those Proverbs 31 characteristics that make her worthy of being a wife. Let me say it again, brothers. Listen to me, brothers. A woman's beauty is not one of the Proverbs 31 characteristics that make her worthy of being a wife. And I'm speaking as a man myself, bro. We as men are very visual creatures. And many times when we look upon a woman and we are attracted to her physically, we can oftentimes become blinded by it. The truth is, all women are aware of this weakness in men. And a wicked woman will use this to manipulate a weak man and create what we call simps. A foolish man is one who is taken by a woman's external beauty alone and not the beauty that comes from within. Let me say that again. A foolish man is one who is taken by a woman's external beauty alone. There's nothing wrong with being taken by a woman's beauty, but if that is your criteria for whether she needs to be a wife or not, brother, you got it all wrong, my brother. You have to also look at who she is and what the heart is, okay? That is very important when it comes to choosing a wife. And we're going to explain that a little bit more as we continue, all right? Continuing on. Now let's look at some scriptures here. 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. And this is back when Yahuwah was about to choose David to be king after Saul failed to do what the Most High commanded. 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. But Yahuwah said to Samuel, look not on his appearance, nor on his stature, for I've rejected him. But Eluah sees not as a man looks, for man looks at the outward appearance, but Yahuwah looks at the heart. And the reason why Yahuwah was telling Samuel this is because David was Jesse or Yeshai's youngest son, and he was very little. He was the shepherd boy. All his brothers older than him, bigger than him, taller than him, stronger than him. And Yahuwah was telling Samuel, like, you know, because Samuel, when he went to go, you know, talk to Yeshai or Jesse brought all his oldest sons directly to Samuel, thinking that they were going to be chosen because they're older, they're stronger, they're taller. And then he went through every single one of Jesse's sons and he was all like, is there any other one? And he's like, yeah, I got a shepherd boy. And that was who Yahuwah chose. So if Yahuwah does not go by appearance, we cannot judge a person by their appearance. I've learned not to do that. You know what I'm saying? Even myself and just in general, right? Because even if you think about Yahushua HaMashiach, right? Yahushua HaMashiach was a homeless man. And what do I mean by that? He had no place to lay his head regularly. He was going from place to place to place to place to place to place. He was a vagabond, for lack of a better word. He did not have a place to lay his head. And I'm sure many people looked at him and were, you know, he didn't stand out in any way. He wasn't nothing special. The Bible says that there is no beauty that no woman should desire him. So he's just a regular looking black man. But look at the great things that he did, just being a regular dude, right? If you contrast Yahushua HaMashiach with how David is described, obviously David was a very handsome young man, a handsome Yahudi. But if you compare that to somebody like Yahushua, who was rejected, who was not loved by his people like David was, you understand what's being said here. Let's keep going. Let's look at another example here. This is Sirach 42, 17 through 20. Yahuwah has not given power to the Kadashim or saints to declare all his marvelous works, which the Most High firmly settled, that whatsoever is might be established for his esteem. He seeks out the deep and the heart and considers their crafty devices, for Yahuwah knows all that may be known, and he beholds the sign of the world. He declares the things that are past and to come, and reveals the steps of hidden things. No thought escapes him, neither any word is hidden from him. So our Father, the Most High, he seeks out the deep and he seeks out the heart. He looks beyond just what we see when we look upon the flesh. We look at somebody's physical appearance or, what we think about them. But the Most High searches things out deeply. We have to be willing to do the same. Let's continue. Wisdom of Solomon 1 verse 6. For wisdom is a loving spirit, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his words. For Yahuwah is witness of his reigns, and a true beholder of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue. So nothing is hid from the face of the Most High. But again, this is just putting emphasis on the posture of one's heart. And this is why the scriptures talk about being circumcised in the heart. Do you have a heart of flesh, or do you have a heart of stone? When Pharaoh, during the Egyptian captivity, was rebelling against the Most High not to let his people go, it's because his heart had been hardened. So when Yahuwah says to circumcise your heart to a heart of flesh, that means the opposite of hardening your heart and disobeying the Most High, but allowing the Most High to speak to you when you have a heart of flesh. Let's continue. Yahuwah judges a person not by looks or appearance. He looks at the heart of a person. We need to apply the same logic. It's okay to acknowledge a woman's beauty, but who is she on the inside? Let's look at scripture about why a woman's beauty alone, keyword alone, a woman's beauty alone is vain. All right. Sirach chapter 9, verse 8. Turn away your eye from a beautiful woman and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. For herewith love is kindled as a fire. And, I just want to speak, since I'm talking to my brothers this today, I want to say that was how we've just been taught to think, like, to just look at a woman and you know what I'm saying, kind of get caught up in that the rapture of that moment where you're just attracted to a woman, especially when she's giving you that energy, like she wants you back. It's so easy to get caught up in the beauty of a woman, we as men, and that is our weakness. I know for me, in my younger days, I was definitely my kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? It's just the beauty of a woman, especially if she was, kind of those women that, we typically see in the music videos and the video vixens and stuff like that. That was kind of always a snare for me in many, many, many things, because as men, it's been proven that when we see a woman as beautiful, sometimes all logic goes right out the window because we thinking with not our head on our shoulders, but I think you get what I'm saying here. Let's keep going, y'all. All right. So it says, be not, many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for therewith love is kindled as a fire. All right. So many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. This is why I say women are aware of the power they have over us as men. They are aware of that. And we need to be able to not fall into snares. All right, let's keep going. Sirach 25:21, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. Now, this might be a hard truth for some of our brothers to understand. But these are the ways of Babylon that we've been taught. A woman is not to be used for pleasure. What do I mean by that? You should not be engaging with a woman because you just want to have sex with her. Our people in scripture pursued women with intention, Now, of course, there are some examples of lust. Look at what David did to, Bathsheba. All right. He was pursuing another man's wife, right? That was something he shouldn't have done. And because he did that, he set up the man to get killed. And he ended up getting this woman pregnant. And that's why he set him up to get killed, because he wanted to hide the fact he got another man's wife pregnant. And because Yahuwah was angry with David for what he did, the Most High did not allow his child to survive. So there's always consequences to things that we do. And I know, like I said, as a man, I used to be a player back in the day. I used to be a ladies' man. I was out there just doing whatever I wanted to do. When I saw a woman and I wanted her and I liked her, I would get her. You know what I'm saying? But that is not how our ancestors were supposed to be moving. Whenever you pursued a woman, it was to become her husband. It was for y'all to be recognized as having covenant with the Most High. And that's when the Most High's blessings will come into your life. When you take a woman seriously to make a covenant with her and with the Most High, and to love her and treat her with respect and provide and protect and lead her in righteousness, that's when the blessings of the Most High come into play. But unfortunately, the hookup culture, so to speak, has really had an effect on us as men. And then if you think about corn, y'all know what I'm talking about, replace the C with a P, right? That has kind of distorted our idea of what love is. Love is meant for a man and a woman who are married and in covenant with the Most High. Sex is meant specifically for marriage. But what Babylon has done is it has distorted what true love is. And it told you that these things that you're seeing on television is how you express love to a woman. Or these things that if you're watching that type of adult content, which you shouldn't be watching, by the way, stuff is wicked, right? Those who watch that type of content get the wrong idea of what it is to love a woman. So even love itself has been distorted from the original way in which Yahuwah intended it to be between a man and a woman. Let's keep going. All right, continuing on. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but I want to keep this thing going. Sirach 42, 12 through 13. Behold not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women. For from garments cometh the moth, and from women, wickedness. So if you're a man in a company of women, right? See, the Most High, he understands our weakness and our proclivity for women as men, right? And so he's telling us not to, behold the beauty of every single woman and sit not in the midst of a woman, because oftentimes when there's a man and there's a company of women around him, that leads to all types of things that we know that would lead us away from the more traditional side of relationships and marriage and things of that nature. Nothing good comes out of a man who is in the company of a bunch of women, right? And he is a man by himself and he's in the midst of a bunch of women, right? Continuing on, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. All right, Proverbs 31:30. Charms are false and woman's beauty is vain, but it is a wise woman that is blessed, and let her praise the fear of Yahuwah. So right here, we can see that a woman's beauty is vain, but a wise woman is blessed by the Most High, and let her praise be the fear of Yahuwah. And we know that the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of all wisdom. So a wise woman, a woman that fears the Most High, these are things you should be looking for in your potential wife. Continuing on. A woman is meant to be a helpmate to a man. Men need to stop downplaying the importance of a wife. Let me say this again. Men need to stop downplaying the importance of a wife. A woman, an Israelite wife, she is just as essential to you as a man. She is just as essential to you as a man as you are to her as a husband. Men need women and women need men. So sometimes I hear a lot of brothers say the Most High don't use women and the Most High don't deal with women and he only deals with men. That is goofy foolishness, bro. Look at Esther. Look at Abigail. Look at Deborah. Look at, you know what I'm saying, Susanna. We're going to talk about some of these righteous women a little bit later on in this lesson. But let me make it clear. Men and women are not equal in role, but they are equal in value to the Most High. You have a purpose as a man, and she has a purpose as a wife. So stop saying that a woman can't be used by the Most High, bro. Okay? Stop saying that a woman has no purpose in the Most High other than just to be silent. How can she be your helper if you will not even hear what she has to say? That's not how a man that truly follows the Most High is supposed to move. Yes, a woman should be silent. She should know how to tame her tongue. She should know when not to say something, but it doesn't mean that she needs to be permanently on mute. All right? That is not a marriage. That is not a covenant. That is not how you operate when you make a covenant with a woman and the Most High. All right? That's why she's your helper. Let's keep going. And I'm going to read some of y'all comments in a second, but we got so much to get into. Though the gender roles are not the same, the black man does not have a greater value to Yahuwah than a woman. The woman does not have a greater value than a man. It goes both ways. Both men and women of the nation of Yahshua are equal in value to Yahuwah. He has functions and purposes for both. The power comes in understanding this and creating that balance. When a woman is not operating in her feminine, it creates imbalance. When a man is not operating in his masculine, it creates imbalance. A man and a woman, a husband and a wife, have to work together and create that balance and that harmony. All right? Very, very simple. Continuing on. Now, let's go ahead and look at Proverbs 31. I will, of course, be using the Brenton Septuagint translation. Proverbs 31, 10 through 31. Who shall find a virtuous woman? For such a one is more valuable than precious stones. Okay, this very first verse right here tells you that a Proverbs 31 woman is very hard to find. Let me say it again. A Proverbs 31 woman is very hard to find, and she is more valuable than precious stones. Sometimes a man feels good because he got money and he got wealth, but this wife, this righteous Israelite wife, is way more valuable than anything that would be considered precious or valuable. She's more valuable than money. She's more valuable than diamonds. She's more valuable than sapphire. So if you find one, and if you got one, you should be praising the Most High right now. Treat her good. Treat her right. Love her. Respect her. Be loyal to her. Because if you screw that up, that is on you. And you do have some brothers out here who don't know how good of a wife or a good of a woman they have, and they don't realize it until she's gone. Verse 11, the heart of her husband trusts in her. Such a one shall stand in no need of fine spoils. So this righteous woman, her husband trusts her. All right. 12, for she employs all her living for her husband's good. So this Proverbs 31 woman, she makes sure that her husband is good. A lot of what she sets her hand to do is for his benefit. It's for his betterment. It's for his enhancement. It's not to rise above him. It's not to transcend his authority. It's not to sit there and argue with him about everything and want to get up in his face and disrespect him as a man and emasculate him. But it's to do good for your husband. This Proverbs 31 woman, this righteous woman, everything that she sets her hand to do is for the betterment of her husband. Your wife should be your peace. Verse 13, gathering wool and flax, she makes it serviceable with her hands. Okay, so she works. Verse 14, she is like a ship trading from a distance, so she procures her livelihood. So this Proverbs 31 woman is not lazy. She's not sitting over here talking about, well, this man need to take care of me and he need to do this and he need to do that, which a man is supposed to do, yes, but that's his wife. he's supposed to provide for. Not some woman he's sleeping with, not some woman who, you know what I mean, don't even want to give him the wifely experience. If you want a husband to be a husband and do husbandly things, you got to also be willing to do wifely things. It goes both ways. Continuing on, verse 15, and she rises by night and gives food to her household and appointed task to her servants or her maidens. So this woman, this Proverbs 31 woman, she makes sure that her whole household eats. She cooks. She makes meals for her man. She makes meals for her babies. She takes pride in providing those sustenances for her household. And if she has servants, she makes sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and that they're on task. Continuing on. All right, verse 18. She views a farm and buys it, and with the fruit of her hands, she plants in a possession. She strongly, listen to that, she strongly girds her loins and strengthens her arms for work. These Proverb 31 women like to work. They like to work. They don't want to sit at home all day. They don't want to be sitting there watching Netflix, okay, eating the food in the house that the man provides, right? They want to work because they're thinking about doing good for their husband. They're thinking about doing good for their family. And listen, a man is a provider, but if a wife wants to work, allow her to work. Because according to Scripture, that is a righteous woman. Continuing on. She finds by experience that working is what? Good. She finds by experience that working is good, and her candle goes not out all night. She reaches forth her arms to needful works and applies her hands to the spindle. She opens her hands to the needy and reaches out fruit to the poor. Okay, so she's also charitable and she's compassionate upon the downtrodden and those who are not well off. Her husband is not anxious about those at home when he tarries anywhere abroad, for all her household are clothed. So this Proverbs 31 woman, you know that if you were a businessman and you got to leave or you got to go for an extended period of time, if you got to travel or if you're that on that kind of level, or even if you're just at work, you know that your wife is going to take care of everything. You know that you have, look at it, says her husband is not anxious. Verse 21, her husband is not anxious about those at home. So his babies, his children, he's not worried about anything because he knows his Proverbs 31 wife is taking care of those babies. Those babies are going to be clothed. Those babies are going to be fed. He has no need to worry of anything when it comes to his wife. Continuing on. 22, she makes for her husband clothes of double texture and garments for herself of fine linen and scarlet. And her husband becomes a distinguished person in the gates when he sits in the council with the old inhabitants of the land. She makes fine linens and sells girdles to the Canaanites. She opens her mouth needfully and with propriety and controls her tongue. Whoo, that's a big one. So it says in verse 24 that she sells girdles to the Canaanites. So this is a wife who even does business with our enemies. Why? Because she does everything for her husband's good. Yeah, she makes money off of our enemies. The Canaanites were our enemies. She made money off of them. Why? To procure her husband's good and her household. And it also says that she opens her mouth needfully and with propriety and controls her tongue, meaning she doesn't have a loud mouth. She knows when to be quiet. She knows when not to say things. Well. Verse 25, she puts on strength and honor and rejoices in the last days. And verse 28 kind of confirms 24 again. But she opens her mouth wisely. Wisely is when she opens her mouth. Not for every argument, not for every disagreement, but wisely. and according to Torah, according to the law of Yahuwah. The ways of her household are careful, and she eats not the bread of idleness. What does that mean? She ain't sitting around not doing anything. So she likes to work. She controls her tongue. She does everything for her husband's good. She finds that working is good. She sells and makes money off of our enemies. She's very professional. She puts on strength and honor. She opens her mouth wisely, and she knows the laws of the Most High. And lastly, she does not sit around not doing anything. She tries to keep herself busy. She will not eat the bread of idleness. Let's continue. Wow. Almost done with this Proverbs 31. And let's finish it up. Verse 28. And her kindness to them sets up her children for them, and they grow rich, and her husband praises her. A righteous man rejoices in his Proverbs 31 wife. A righteous man praises his Proverbs 31 wife. 28. Many daughters have obtained wealth, many have wrought valiantly, but you have exceeded and you have surpassed all. We read verse 30 already. Charms are false and woman's beauty is vain, for it is a wise woman that is blessed, and let her praise the fear of Yahuwah, and give her of the fruit of her lips, and let her husband be praised in the gates. All right. So we got a whole lot more to get into, but I'm going to just take some time to read some of y'all's chat comments. All praises. Welcome everybody, man. Everybody who's here. All praises to the Most High. And listen. Sisters, to all y'all sisters who just came in, or who kind of came in the beginning of the lesson, I don't want you to take this as, when I'm bringing these things out, as me attacking you, because as I said before I even started this, next week I'm going to be talking about a righteous man. Okay. But right now we are dealing with the wife right now. So don't turn this in. Let's not turn this into I got to bash the black man. Oh, I got to bash this, I'm not going to allow our brothers to bash y'all, but I'm not going to allow y'all to bash the brothers either. All right. If you fit this criteria for a Proverbs 31 woman, there is no need to deflect back on the black man. All right. There is no need to do that. If these, and we're going to talk about a wicked woman, we're going to get into all of that, because if these things do not apply to you, there is no reason to be offended by it. And if it does apply to you in regards to not being that Proverbs 31 woman, this is a good reason for you to work on these things, especially if you are unmarried and you want to be a wife. According to the will of the Most High, it is important you understand this, okay? And don't be unequally yoked. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you know who you're marrying. This is why I highly suggest courting. And when I say courting is not dating, so to speak. Courting is getting to know someone. And when I say getting to know them, I'm not talking about like the biblical, terminology for having sex with somebody and he knew her, or came onto her. I don't mean it like that. What I mean is actually genuinely taking time to get to know somebody, to walk with them, to, understand them, to, really, really consider them for marriage. So courting is different than dating, because courting is dating with intention. Dating is just dating. You can go on one date and never talk to somebody again. I'm talking about those of you brothers out there that are genuinely looking for a wife, genuinely looking for a woman that you want to become one with in covenant with the highest. I'm talking about that. All right. Now, in the sense of polygamy, I'm not going to talk about that. Now, listen, I'll just say this. Polygamy is not a sin. All right. It is not. There's nothing wrong with polygamy. If a man wants to be a polygamist, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's a personal decision. It's not a requirement to be a polygamist. It's not a requirement to have multiple wives. It is up to the man. And if a man wants to be a polygamist, he needs to be able to support every single one of those wives, every single one of them. All right. If you can't support all those women, that's what I'm saying. If you in these lands of captivity, I don't even think that can work, bro. I really don't. So to you brothers out there that are polygamists, man, I don't know, bro. I mean, if you're able to make it work, hey, good for you, bro. But anyway, We're going to continue on. I'm reading some more of y'all comments. Hadassah says, shalom, brother. Glad you're back. Oh, shalom. Shabbat shalom, sister. Thank you. I appreciate that. Learning a lot today. Bantu Queen says, learn a lot today. All praises to the highest. I'm glad to see that, sis. Real love. Mathath Yahoo says, real love is being real with them and showing them you care about them. Not saying I love you. It's all about action. Facts. Facts. I don't believe in useless words. You know what I mean? It's all about showing it, right? A man can say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, a woman don't feel loved, right? Or he just does whatever he wants, but then he just uses the I love you as a cop-out. No, love definitely should be demonstrated. If a woman loves you, she needs to show it. If a man loves you, he needs to show it. Just like how Yahuwah loves us, right? He shows it. Why? Because he chastises us. Why? Because he didn't let the nations destroy us when they wanted to. Why? Because he has a plan of redemption for our people. Why? Because those blessings of Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 15 are still attainable if we come back to covenant with him. That's love. That's love. All right. He could have cut us off and gained, you know what I'm saying, for good and gave our inheritance to somebody else, a whole nother people, but he didn't do that though. He chose us knowing we was hard-headed, knowing we was stiff-necked. Yeah, that's love, bro. Delivering us from the oppressor, delivering us from Egypt, splitting the water, bringing fire and pestilence and plagues upon the oppressor. Yeah, that's love. Making sure every nation fears the allure of our people. Yeah, that's love. Love must be shown. It must be demonstrated. Absolutely. Shabbat shalom, everybody that's coming in. We'll keep it going, all right? Afro-Dominican Negro, what's up? Shalom, Aki. Happy to see your good blessings. All esteem to the Most High, Abba Yahuwah. I'm glad to see you, Aki. I missed y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I did miss y'all. I'm good, like I said, you know what I'm saying? But I did miss y'all, bro. Everybody here. Shout out to everybody that's here, man. I'm glad we back, bro. All right. Let's keep this thing going, okay? All praises to the Most High. Miss Star Wars. Shalom, sis. Good information, no offense taken, loving the knowledge. Yeah, and listen, when I say this, I know it's not all of our sisters. Most of our sisters in the truth that I've come across, sisters who've been following this channel, some of my moderators and all that, I know this is not y'all, but I'm just talking about some of our sisters who are still confused by the ways of Babylon, who still, you know what I'm saying, have a lot of bitterness because, you know, past relationships and things like that. And it's not just our sisters, it's our brothers too. And that's why I had to make it clear, this is not going to become a situation where you can sit there and bash black women as a whole. I'm not going to allow that. You feel me? We need to be loving our sisters, bro. We need to be treating them with respect. And then, you know, like I said, I have my issues with some of our sisters and how they operate in this feminism and what it's done to a lot of our sisters' minds and how they don't respect the fact that Yahuwah made the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's descendants. So it's patriarchal. Some of our sisters got a problem with that. But that's something they're going to have to take up with the Most High, because I guarantee you some of our sisters got a problem that Yahusha is a male. And they got to bow down to a male. Yeah, that is a problem. And we have to be willing to have these discussions when it needs to be had. But I definitely don't paint everybody the same way, though. But let's keep it going, fam, all right? We'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. Shabbat shalom, Diana Jackson. Shabbat shalom to you, sister. All right, let's keep it going. So we just read all this about the Proverbs 31 woman. So let's go ahead and let's summarize it real quick, just to put it in a pretty little package. So the qualities of a Proverbs 31 woman: hardworking, not lazy, charitable, kind and caring, supportive of her household. That would be her babies, her children, as well as her husband. Also controls her tongue, well instructed in Torah, submissive, sweet, gentle, and trusts her husband. And she is also his peace. She understands that the black man, the whole world is against him. The whole world is bringing war against the black man. But when he comes home, his wife offers him that peace. That's what a Proverbs 31 woman is, in a nutshell. But let's keep going. All right. So in Proverbs 31, we can see that the righteous Proverbs 31 woman is there not to transcend above the man, but to help and enhance the man. Let me say it again. The Proverbs 31 woman is not there to rise above or transcend above the man, but to help and enhance the man. And we'll get into a little bit more of what I mean by that. Genesis 2:18, 21 through 23. And Yahuwah said, it is not good that the man should be alone. Let us make for him a helpmeet suitable to him. And Yahuwah brought a trance upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs. Now, if you actually translate this word that they have for rib, which is salah, right? It actually translates to side, okay? And you can actually confirm that in the book of Jubilees, that it was his side that was taken. That's why he says flesh of my flesh, bones of my bones. But it was actually his side. Now, here's the crazy thing about this. Let me get deep. Can I get deep real quick with y'all? Give me a one real quick. I'm going to get deep real quick. Give me a one. Give me a one. Give me a one. Give me one. Abigail says, missed you too, Yekcyr. I was praying for you. Great lesson. Thank you so much, sis. I missed y'all too. Okay. I see one's Bantu Queen with the one. Hey. All right. Who else? Come on, man. Give me one. I'm about to get deep real quick. Okay. All praises. Okay. So the word salah translates to side, but they have it as rib because of the English. Now, give me a one if you can agree that Yahusha, when he was crucified, he was pierced in his side. Y'all remember that? He was pierced in his side and the blood came out. Y'all remember that? Woo! So deep. So it would make sense that the bride of Yahusha, when he was slain and he was killed, he was pierced in his same side, the side that the woman came from with the first man. He's called Ban Adam, the son of man, right? Well, who is that bride that he's coming back for? That's Yasharal. That is the woman. Okay, that is the wife, the bride of Yahushua HaMashiach. So he was pierced in his side so that this woman, who is the nation of Yasharal, could be joined back to him. How powerful is that? Whoo! Man. All praises, man. All praises. Barak Hashem Yahuwah, man. All praises. So everything that happens in scripture, bro, you know what I'm saying? There's always some kind of tie. You know what I mean? And like I say, bro, the Bible really is a love story, bro. It's about Yahuwah's love for us. It's about his love for his wife. It's about how his wife was unfaithful. His wife, you know what I'm saying, committed fornication. How did his wife commit fornication? Because symbolically, that wife of Yahuwah is the nation of Yasharal or Israel, right? The Bantu people. That wife committed fornication because that wife broke covenant with him. That wife went and served other gods. That wife did what the heathens did, right? And the scriptures describe idolatry as spiritual fornication. Think about it like this, right? If a man is married to a woman, the woman would take a lot of offense if that man is during, you know, the relations, that man calls out the name of another woman. I could imagine that if you're a woman, that would make you very angry. Am I right or am I wrong? If you're with your husband and he's calling out the name of another woman, give me a one if that would make you very angry as a wife. And then you could flip it vice versa. If you're a husband and your wife is calling out the name of another man, as a man, that would make you angry. I'm going to put a one because I would definitely be angry about that, for real. Right? So when Yahuwah says that it is spiritual fornication with these idols and these other gods that our people were worshiping and doing these rituals to, it's because we are who he was in covenant with. Just like a marriage is a covenant a covenant in which a man chooses a wife for himself to be faithful to her, and him to be faithful to her to be faithful to him. Yahuwah made a covenant with us as his wife, and he was expecting us to be faithful to him. But we fornicated by worshiping other gods, by breaking that marriage covenant, by breaking that covenant. That covenant is symbolic of this marriage. That is symbolic of his love for us. And now the only way to rectify that is to come back in covenant with him and keep his commandments. That's what he expects of us. All Yahuwah ever wanted for us was disobedience, and he would provide everything we needed. He would overthrow our enemies. He would give us a good and fruitful land. He would protect us from the oppressor, and we will be above all nations. But our people got prideful. Our people got too full of themselves, and the Most High said, well, you don't want me. So therefore, I'm going to cast you away from my presence. Thus, scatter Negroes, four corners of the earth, inside Africa and outside Africa. We scattered everywhere. We have to learn this lesson, y'all, from what our forefathers did. It's the only way. It's the only way that things will be back to the way that they were. But let's keep on going. All right. So Genesis, all right, we left off at 21. Okay. So like I said, rib is pertaining to side. All right. 22. And Yahuwah formed the side or the rib, which he took from Adam into a woman and brought her to Adam, brought her to the man. Brought her to the man. Okay. So the way you read it in Genesis, or the way you kind of look at it, people think that she was just kind of like made right there. You know what I'm saying? In that moment. And then, he saw her, being formed and all that. But if you read Jubilees, and you can see right here in the Septuagint, she was actually brought to him. One thing that a lot of women don't like to hear, and a lot of sisters, when I talk about this feminism stuff that they reject, is that the man is the prize. Let me say it again. The man is the prize, not the woman. It doesn't take away from the woman. It doesn't take away the value of the woman, but the man is the prize scripturally. Why? Because the man is the provider, the protector, and the leader. The woman is the helper, but the man is the provider, the protector, and the leader. So yes, the man is the prize. Absolutely. That's why she was brought to him and not him to her. But see, the land of confusion, Babylon, America, got the woman being raised above the man. Got the man bowing down to the woman just to propose. Bro, that is a heathenistic, Eurocentric, European way of doing things. Some people might be like, well, but Yekcyr, it's just humility. No, you ain't supposed to be bowing down to no woman, homie. I mean, you're supposed to be bowing down to nobody but the Most High. But Babylon is the land of confusion, bro. It is the land of confusion, and it's meant to do everything backwards, because Babylon, America, and the lands of our captivity have no respect for the Eluah, because they are under the influence of the children of Lucifer. Lucifer works through his children. So everything is backwards, inverted, twisted, turned around, corrupted. The man should be the one who walks down the aisle to the woman because he is the prize. Well, actually, it should. I mean, see, the problem with Babylon is that it gives, like, even when you talk about like how when you look at the woman, right, and like a traditional, or not, I won't even say traditional, but like in a Babylonian type of marriage system, look how much power the woman gets over the man in regards to divorce and things of that nature, right? A woman could marry a man who has money and is successful, and then she could literally just at the drop of the hat, not even with no grounds for divorce, just divorce him and just take half of everything that he got, everything that he worked for, without putting any type of effort into the marriage whatsoever. Not every woman does that, but I'm just saying this system is built in a way so that a woman is able to do that. You destroy a man's whole life, his whole business, his whole, you know what I'm saying, career at the drop of a hat if she just wants some get back towards him. Anywho, we'll keep this thing going. All right, so moving on. Verse 23, and Adam said, this is now bones of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of her husband. Continuing on, we got another witness, Sirach 36:24. He that gets a wife begins a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. And this is what I mean when I say your wife should be your peace, bro. The woman you're considering marrying should bring you peace even before you marry her. Again, another witness that she is a helpmate. Continuing on. Jubilees 3:4-7. Yahuwah said to me, it's not good that man should be alone. Let us make for him a helpmeet like unto him. And Yahuwah caused a stupor to fall upon him, and he slept, and he took for a wife one rib from among his ribs, and this rib was made into a woman from among his ribs, and he built flesh there in its place and built a woman. And he awakened Adam out of his sleep, and awakening he arose on the 6th day and came to her and knew her and said unto her, this is now bones of my bones, flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called my wife, for she came and originated from man. For this reason, man and wife shall be one. And for this reason, a man shall leave his father and his mother and will connect himself with his wife, and they shall be one flesh. All praises, man. Continuing on. When marrying a woman, it is clearly laid out in scripture that a man is to come to her father's house and get permission of the father of the woman he seeks to marry. And yes, a dowry or a bride price is also a part of this. But as many of us are in lands of captivity, that does not acknowledge this custom. It is imperative you at least get the family's blessing. If her father is not living or not around, go to her mother, but do not simply take a woman for a wife in secret from her family. Show respect to her family and be willing to foster a good relationship with your wife's family. Let me say it again. Do not take a wife secretly without getting the family's blessing. Okay? That is not how this should be done. I get it. Babylon, America, you see a woman, you think she's attractive and you want to run away with her because you think she's the one. I get that's probably how some of us have moved and how we have done things. But scripturally, you went to the father's house or the mother's house if the father wasn't around, and you got permission and the family's blessing to take her for a wife, because you're taking their daughter from their home and you're bringing her to your house. It's about respect. But unfortunately, America doesn't teach us these things. So we're going to look at something. We're going to look at a few examples of this. This is the book of Tobit, chapter 7, verses 12-15. Said then, take her from henceforth according to the manner, for you are her cousin and she is yours, and the merciful Alua gives you good success in all things. Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father, and he took her by the hand and gave her to be a wife to Tobit or Tobias, saying, behold, take her after the law of Moses. Wait a minute. So the Torah teaches us that you're supposed to go to the father's house and get the father's permission to take her for a wife. But Babylon just said, oh, this girl look good. Oh, I want her to be mine. I'm going to just take her. And I ain't got to meet her family. I ain't got to meet her dad. I ain't got to meet her mom or cousin, nothing. But it says, behold, take her after the law of Moses and lead her away to your father. And he blessed them. Okay. So Tobias got the father's blessing and called Edna his wife. Okay. So that would be the mother of Sarah, and took paper and did write an instrument of covenant and sealed it. Then they began to eat. So now they had a celebration after the proposal was accepted. This is biblical marriage. Has nothing to do with going to court, has nothing to do with involving the court, has nothing to do with getting them to acknowledge that you're married. It's simply getting the father's permission, writing out a covenant that you will, provide, protect, lead. She will also sign that covenant and agree to be a wife and nurture and, do all the things that a wife is supposed to do. Both of y'all sign it. You got the father's permission. You get the family's blessing. Boom, y'all consummate. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, of course, like I said, in certain cultures, of course, in the continent, you have dowry payments, you have things of that nature. But I know a lot of these other, nations do not acknowledge that. So at the very least, you should at least get the family's blessing. All right. Continuing on. Let's read more about this. All right. Moving on. This is Tobit 10 through 12. Then Raguel arose and gave him Sarah, his wife, and half his goods, servants, cattle, money. Yeah, that's a dowry. And he blessed them and sent them away, saying, the God of heaven, the Allah of heaven, give you a prosperous journey, my children. And he said to his daughter, honor your father and your mother-in-law, which are now your parents, that I may hear good report of you. And he kissed her. Edna also said to Tobias, Yahuwah of heaven, restore you, my dear brother, and grant that I may see your children of my daughter Sarah before I die. The family's wishing him well. That I may rejoice before Yahuwah. Behold, I commit my daughter unto you of special trust. Do not entreat her evil. So again, the reason why you have to go to the father's house and get permission is because, again, you are removing their child, their baby, from their home and taking her to your home. And this is, like I said, in the continent of Africa, this is a typical event that takes place when a man wants to marry a woman. So all praises to the Most High, bro. You know what I'm saying? That this culture is still very much intact with the Bantu people. All praises. You could talk to any Bantu, any person in the continent, and they will tell you this is how it's done when you want to marry a woman and you're a man. All praises. All praises. I'm telling y'all, bro, the Bible's an African book, but people don't want to hear it. Everybody want to be FBA all of a sudden. All right. Continuing on. All right. Genesis 24, 2 through 4. This is Abraham. Abraham sent his servant to go find a daughter for his son Isaac, or find a wife for his son Isaac. All right, let's look at this, because he goes through the whole negotiation process with the dowry and all of that. Let's look at this. Genesis 24, 2 through 4. And Abram said to his servant, the elder of his house, who had rule over all his possession, put your hand under my thigh, and I will adjure you by Yahuwah of heaven and the Eluah of the earth, that you take not a wife from my son Isaac, from the daughter of the Canaanites. Remember, Canaanites were our enemies, with whom I dwell in the midst of them. But you shall go ahead to my country, where I was born, and to my tribe, and you shall take from thence a wife for my son Isaac. All right. So Abraham is like, yo, don't you take no Canaanite wife for my son. You go to my country, amongst my people, of my bloodline, who's of Shem. Okay. Again, people say bloodline don't matter no more, but Abraham was so specific that they had to be from the lineage of Shem. They could not be Japhites. They could not be Hamites. They had to be from the lineage of Shem. Bloodline is very important. Let's keep it going. And it came to pass before, and this is Genesis 24, 15 through 16. And it came to pass before he had done speaking in his mind that, behold, Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nachar, and the same, the brother of Abraham, came forth having a water pot on her shoulders. And the virgin was very beautiful in appearance. She was a virgin. A man had not known her, and she went down to the well and filled her water pot and came up. All right. So the servant ended up going to Abram's country and he saw this girl who was a virgin, had never known a man, and she was also related to some of the people that, you know, Abraham came from. Now, back then, you know, obviously Sarah was like related to Abraham when he took her for a wife. This was before it had become a sin to, you know, marry your sister. Obviously, before the law was given, the Torah was given. Torah makes it clear that it is a sin. But earlier, before Torah was given, a man was allowed to marry his kindred to preserve that bloodline. Not so anymore now, but this was prior to Torah. Continuing on. All right, this is Genesis 24, 23 to 24, and verse 28. And he asked her and said, "Whose daughter are you? Tell me if there is room for us to lodge with your father." Up there it is again. Proof that you must go to the father's house of the woman you want to marry. So he wanted to sit with this woman's father, get to know him, you know, and negotiate marrying her. All right. 24. And she said to him, "I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, whom she bore to Nachor. And the damsel ran and reported to the house of her mother according to these words." So now the girl was excited. She went back to her mother's house to say, "He's going to marry me. He's going to marry me." So she was excited. You know what I mean? He made it clear that he wanted to, you know, get her to be married to Isaac. All right. Let's continue on. All right, Genesis 24, 32 and 34. And the man entered into the house of her father and unloaded the camels and gave the camels straw and provender and water to wash his feet and the feet of the men that were with him. And he said, "I am a servant of Abram." Continuing on, Genesis 24, 51 through 67. "Behold, Rebekah is before you. Take her and go away and let her be a wife to the son of your master, as Yahuwah has said." These are her parents responding to him. "And it came to pass when the servant of Abram heard these words, he bowed himself to Yahuwah down to the earth. And the servant, having brought forth jewels of silver and gold and raiment, gave them to Rebekah and gave gifts to her brother and to her mother." Okay, so dowry, payment for taking their daughter to be a wife to Isaac. Okay, payment, respect, negotiation. All right, honor. Verse 54. "And both he and the men with him ate and drank and went to sleep." So the negotiation was accepted. The proposal was accepted. They ended up eating and drinking together, and they agreed. All right. "And he arose in the morning and said, 'Send me away that I may go to my master.' And they called Rebekah and said to her, 'Will you go with this man?' And she said, 'I will go.'" So the family accepted the proposal. The daughter that is to be married to Isaac accepted the proposal. He paid a dowry. He gave gifts. He made payment. She now will go with him to be the wife of Isaac. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Continuing on. All right. 24, 59 through 64. Genesis 24, 59 through 64 and verse 67. So they sent forth Rebekah, their sister, and her goods, and the servant of Abram and his attendants. And they blessed Rebekah. Okay, there again, the father's blessing, the family's blessing. They blessed Rebekah and said to her, "You are our sister. Become you thousands of myriads, and let your seed possess the cities of their enemies." And Isaac went forth into the plain toward evening to meditate, and having lifted up his eyes, he saw camels coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes and saw Isaac, and she alighted briskly from the camel. And Isaac went into the house of his mother and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her. And Isaac was comforted for Sarah, his mother. Wow. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Continuing on. Now, I want to make something clear here. I want to stress the importance of courting a woman with the intention of marrying her, not sleeping around, not pursuing lust of the flesh, but the intentions of becoming one flesh. Let me say that again. the intentions of becoming one flesh, making her a wife, leading her in righteousness, being there for her and your family, making sure she is astute in Torah, providing for her, protecting her, being faithful to her, and loving her as the Most High commanded us to love his daughters and love our people, family. Sleeping around with random women you are not married to is dangerous, both spiritually and physically. This is what boys do. Men should not be moving in this way because it absolves them of accountability and, quite frankly, is irresponsible and heathenistic. Yahuwah called us black men to be strong towers to our families, love our and didn't always serve the Most High. I didn't always have this mindset. I was a ladies' man in my youth. And in 2019, when I woke up, I started to seek the Most High, study Torah more, and take marriage and being a husband more seriously. I stopped sleeping around with random women and realized now that I have lived the majority of my life, in a very spiritually immature male. A strong black man is not just limited to physical strength, but also discipline. Discipline and responsibility are not something we should take lightly, especially when it comes to choosing a wife and having children. Okay? I just wanted to make that clear because a lot of times people twist scriptures and kind of, twist things around because they feel like they need to, do what they feel they want to do. But I'm called by Yahuwah to give it to you according to what his word says, not what I think, not what I feel, not what I used to do. And as a black man, as a child of the Most High, I have a responsibility to help my people understand that what we've done in Babylon and the ways that we used to be. And I was one of them brothers that did the same thing our brothers do now. I denounced the way that I used to be before I knew the Most High because I realized I was spiritually immature. I was still living like a boy and not a man. And now as a husband, I'm living as a man. You feel me? All praises to the Most High. All right, let's keep this thing going. All praises. All right, fam. I just want to, say that real quick so people understand. All right, continuing on. We as men need to understand that without a woman, you will forever feel incomplete as a man, and vice versa. You as a woman will feel incomplete without a man because that balance that we talked about earlier is so important. Continuing on. Sirach 36:25. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that has no wife will wander up and down mourning. So a man is always going to feel incomplete without his wife. And that's why I never downplay the importance of a wife in a man's life, how important it is. And you guys know I'm super supportive of bearing our own and, and having children and stuff like that. Because without a woman, a man will feel incomplete. And without a man, a woman is going to feel incomplete. It's like we need each other, bro. Period. And at one point, I felt like this. This was something that I felt at one point in my life. So I can even attest to this. Continuing on. Now, let us quickly look at some scriptural examples of righteous women. Then we will look at wicked women. All right. So first, we're going to talk about Susanna. Now, the book of Susanna is actually a part of the stories of Daniel. So you got the book of Daniel, you have Susanna, you have Bel and the dragon. Those three books are supposed to be a culmination of all these things. Then, of course, Prayer of Azariah. That's another part of that, Daniel kind of series or whatever. Susanna was a very righteous woman, and we're going to read a little bit about her. Okay. So Susanna, this is the book of Susanna, chapter 1, verses 1-3. And of course, they removed this book too, but let's go ahead and read. There dwelt a man in Babylon called Jehoiakim, and he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Yekcyr, a very beautiful woman and one that feared Yahuwah. Her parents also were righteous and taught their daughter according to the law of Moses. Okay, so this daughter of Zion had two good parents who were teaching her Torah. She was very astute in Torah. Another Proverbs 31 woman right here. All praises. Let's keep reading. All right, this is Susanna chapter 1, verses 7 through 9. Now, when the people departed away at noon, Susanna went into her husband's garden to walk. Verse 8, and the two elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed towards her. And they perverted their own mind and turned away their eyes, that they might not look into heaven, nor remember just judgment. So basically, Susanna is married to Jehoiakim. She liked to walk around in her garden, and there were two elders from the nation of Yasharal that found her to be very beautiful. She's a very, very beautiful daughter of Zion. And of course, these two elders were lusting after her. Okay, let's keep reading. Moving on. All right, this is Susanna chapter 1, verses 19 through 23. Now, when the maids were gone forth, the two elders rose up and ran into her, saying, behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us, and we are in love with you. Therefore, consent unto us and lie with us. If you will not, we will bear witness against you that a young man was with you, and therefore you did send away your maids from you. So basically what these elders are saying is, you're going to either have sex with us, or we're going to bear false witness against you and get you killed. So they were putting her in a very uncomfortable scenario because they couldn't control that they were lusting after another man's wife, which the Most High said, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. So they were already sinning just by that alone, right? Continuing on. This is verse 22 and 23. Susanna, chapter 1. Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side. For if I do this thing, it is death unto me. And if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands. It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of Yahuwah. So this righteous woman said, well, you might as well kill me. I'm not going to go against the Most High. I'm not going to sin. I'm not going to do something he said not to do. I'm a righteous woman. I don't think you understand that I'm beautiful, but I am a righteous, faithful, loving wife, and I will not do that to my husband. Well, let's see what happened afterwards. Continuing on. This is same book, chapter 1, and we're reading 41 through 49. Then the assembly believed them, so they basically made a false claim against her that she was, she sent her maids away and that she was with another man, which wasn't true. They bared false witness against her. All right. Then the assembly believed them as those that were the elders and judges of the people, so they condemned her to death. Now, the reason why these elders knew that they could try to get her to compromise is because they had a lot of pull in the nation because they were elders and she was a young, beautiful black woman. They're going to believe the elders before they believe this woman because it's two of them and they are elders, right? 42. Then Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, O everlasting Eloah, that knows the secrets and knows all things before they be, you know that they have borne false witness against me, and behold, I must die. Whereas I never did such things as these men have maliciously invented against me. Continuing on, this is 45, 48, 47. Therefore, when she was led to be put to death, Yahuwah raised up the Holy Spirit of a young youth whose name was what? Daniel. Yes, that's the same Daniel that was able to interpret the dreams, that was, a righteous Yahudi Israelite. All right. He actually stood up for this woman. Let's keep reading. Who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman. Then all the people turned them toward him and said, what mean these words that you have spoken? So he, standing in the midst of them, said, are you such fools, you sons of Israel, that without examination or knowledge of the truth, you have condemned a daughter of Israel? Return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her. And this is what I mean when I'm talking about we're supposed to treat our people with respect. Stand up for your people, man. Don't you know what I'm saying? Don't let people bear false witness on somebody that's not true. Because the Most High is righteous and he sees and he knows all. And Daniel did a righteous thing because they were trying to kill this woman because she was being faithful and loyal to her husband. Continuing on. Susanna was a, oh wait, you know what? I'm sorry. I think I skipped the slide here. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. Okay. Did I miss something here? I think I missed the slide, y'all. I think I did, y'all. Oh, okay. Well, basically what happened was, just to kind of summarize it for you, Susanna ended up petitioning to the Most High. Daniel stood up for her, and these two men, these two elders were killed. What they were going to do to her ended up happening to them. So the Most High vindicated her. Susanna was a righteous woman because she trusted the Most High, was well instructed in Torah, faithful to her husband, and chose purity over compromise. And because of that, Yahuwah vindicated her. All praises. Continuing on. Judith, another righteous Israelite. So Judith was a widow in her house 3 years and 4 months. And she made her a tent upon the top of her house and put on sackcloth upon her loins and wear her widow's apparel. And she fasted all the days of her widowhood, save the eves of the Shabbats and the new months and the feasts and solemn days of the house of Yasharal. She was also of a goodly countenance and very beautiful to behold. All of Yahuwah's daughters are beautiful, as you can see. And her husband, Manasseh, had left her gold and silver and maidservants and cattle and lands, and she remained upon them. And there was none that gave her an ill word, for she feared Yahuwah greatly. Now, if you know the story of Judith, she actually petitioned to the Most High for the deliverance of our people during the whole Babylonian captivity time. So Judith was righteous because she fasted, prayed, and trusted the Most High for deliverance of her people. Now, there is more examples I can give, but we will definitely discuss this in a future teaching. Now, let's look at some more scriptures on righteous women. Before we switch over, I'm going to just go ahead and jump in these comments, see what y'all saying. Kum Yasharal is here. Shalom, 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 shalom. Dara said, I read about this. Susanna, yeah, I mean, that's just, these elders were acting like boys, man. I mean, what the heck? Absolutely, a bride price is usually a must. Yeah, I mean, it should be. I mean, if you love a woman, you care about a woman, you value a woman, you should pay that dowry. Absolutely pay that dowry. You feel what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High. Yada yada. All right, fam, we're going to keep this thing going. Brother Mathathiel, who says in Nguni culture here in South Africa, Zulu, Xhosa, Lesotho, you must pay lobola to your wife and bring money and cows. Yes, yes, absolutely. Some cultures, some Bantu cultures is cows. Some of them it's goats. It just depends on what Bantu tribe you're talking about. But yes, definitely in the continent, you must pay the dowry. It is something that you're not even recognized as married until that's done. It's so upheld by our people. And that's what I'm saying, bro. If you're really trying to understand the ways of the Most High, you should be talking to our people in the continent. But our people want to delineate from them. No, that's why I'm forever keeping my foot on FBA's necks. I'm forever going to do that because they're only harming the awakening. I mean, they're not really harming anything because the Most High, what he wants is going to happen. But I'm just saying there's too many agents out here because there's way too many agents, too many niggas that, you know what I'm saying, And speaking of South Africa, man, you know what? We'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later on, man. You know what I mean? But we're gonna keep on track with this. Aliyahu Yasharal says, thank you for content on YouTube. I know you've been on Patreon. Yes, sir. All praises. All praises. Thanks for some new YT content. You're very welcome. I'm glad y'all are enjoying this, bro. All praises. Y'all know, I mean, I knew when I was coming back, I was going to come with some heavy stuff. All praises. All right, fam. We're going to keep this thing going. We're almost done, actually. Man, this went by a lot faster than I thought it would. I'm not going to even lie, family. This went by hecka quick. We're almost done here. All right, continuing on. So scriptures about righteous Israelite women, or a righteous woman, a righteous wife. Sirach 26, 1-4. Blessed is the man that has a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoice in her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. A good wife is a good portion, oh, praise the Most High, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear Yahuwah. Whether a man be rich or poor, if he have a good heart towards Yahuwah, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance. Brothers, let me tell you something. In your quest to find a wife, don't you ever forget, it also comes by praying. It also comes by asking the Most High to bring that woman to you, to help you connect with that woman and find that woman. When you're trying to do it yourself, I guarantee you're probably not going to ever find her. It's going to come by praying, fasting, enduring. It's not going to come easy. But when you find her, you're going to know. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures will confirm some things for you. But always go to the Most High and ask him for that Proverbs 31 woman. Yeah, they are rare. They're hard to find, but they are out there. They are 100% out there. Let's continue. Sirach 26, 13-16. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. A silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahuwah, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. As the sun when it arises in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. Once again, putting emphasis on how a wife, a true righteous Proverbs 31 woman, she is going to always make sure that her household is good, be it her husband and her children. All praises to the Most High. Continuing on. Sirach 25, verse 1. In three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before Alua and men, the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, and a man and a wife that agree together. That's beautified. All praises. Continuing on. Sirach 25, 8. Well is him that dwells with a wife of understanding, and that has not slipped with his tongue, and that has not served a man more unworthy than himself. Wow. Beautiful. Continuing on. 1 Timothy 2, 9-11. Also, that women should adorn themselves modestly and sensibly in seemly apparel, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly attire, but by good deeds, as befits women who profess belief. Let a woman learn in silence with all submissiveness. So here in 1 Timothy, you get more of an example of what a Proverbs 31 woman is, or a righteous woman, a woman who dresses modestly, who is not trying to be seen and, recognized by everybody. It doesn't mean a woman can't look nice and presentable, but a woman that's married, that is a righteous woman, does not have her goodies out, don't got everybody seeing what her body looking like and all of that. And again, it says her good deeds, as befits women who profess belief. So again, the actions of this woman in her heart. And it also says, let a woman learn in silence and with all submissiveness. So a submissive woman, once again, he knows how to control her tongue. All right, continuing on. We're almost done, fam. We went through this quick. Proverbs 19:14. Fathers, divide house and substance to their children, but a wife is suited to a man by Yahuwah. Wow, powerful stuff. Continuing on. Proverbs 26:16. Actually, oops, sorry. Just went through that one already. Okay, now, scriptures that describe a wicked woman. Avoid these types at all costs. And like I said, sisters, I'm not saying this is all of y'all, but if you recognize these traits in yourself, these are things you're going to have to work on. If it don't apply, let it fly. All right, here we go. Proverbs 5:1-8. My son, attend to my wisdom and apply your ear to my words, that you may keep good understanding. And the discretion of my lips gives you a charge. Give no heed to a worthless woman. Do not waste your time, brothers. Do not waste your time to a woman who doesn't want to be a wife, who does not want to follow the Most High, who is comfortable with feminism, who doesn't want to change, who doesn't want to do anything, who doesn't want to give you the wife experience, but wants you to give her the husband experience. Do not waste your time. Even the scriptures are telling you this. For honey drops from the lips of a harlot, who for a season pleases your palate. But afterwards, you will find her more bitter than gall and sharper than a two-edged sword. So she entices you, and it's pleasing to you in the beginning, but after a while, you start to realize she's very bitter. She's got a nasty mouth. She always wants to argue with you. She want to get up in your face. She want to fight you. She want to use your stuff without your permission. She want to eat up all your food in your house while doing literally nothing. Avoid those type of women, brothers. Avoid those type of sisters, brother. Continuing on. Proverbs 5:1-8. For the feet of folly lead those who dwell with her down to the grave with death, and her steps are not established. For she goes not upon the path of life, but her ways are slippery and not easily known. So this woman's hard to figure out. Now then, my son, hear me and make not my words of no effect. Remove your way far from her. Draw not near to the doors of her house. It says, draw not near to the doors of her house, family. My. Continuing on. This is Proverbs 7:5-6. Or actually, I'm sorry, this is 4-6. Proverbs 7:4-6. Say that wisdom is your sister, and gain prudence as an acquaintance for yourself, that she may keep you from the strange and wicked woman, if she should assail you with flattering words. Now listen to this. For she looks from a window out of her house into the streets, as one she may see of the senseless ones, a young man void of understanding. So this is a woman, probably married, all right, got a husband, and she's over there looking out her window when he's at work, looking for some man she can bring into her house. Let's keep going. This is Proverbs 7:10-12 and verses 18-19. And the woman meets him, having the appearance of a harlot, that causes the hearts of young men to flutter. All right. And she is fickle and debauched, and her feet abide not at home. For at one time she wanders without, and at another she lies in wait in the streets at every corner. Come and let us enjoy love until the morning come, and let us embrace in love. Verse 19, for my husband is not at home, but is gone on a long journey. Uh-oh. Whoa. And the scriptures say, do not enter into her house. Do not be enticed by her. And this is something I had to learn, because again, when I was a young man, I was thinking with my other head. attracted by the beauty of a woman, right? Attracted by that, just drawn to that. And like I said, women are aware of the power they have over us as men. Whew, boy. Bantu Queen says, following each steps. Yep, facts. Continuing on, we're almost done, fam. All right, we are almost done here. Okay, continuing on. This is Proverbs 21:19. It's better to dwell in the wilderness than with a quarrelsome and talkative and passionate woman. So with much converse, she prevailed on him to go astray. And with the snares of her lips, she forced him from the right path. So there are women, there are wicked women who will ensnare you, and they mean to do you harm instead of do good. As I said, a righteous woman, she will enhance you. She will apply everything for your good. A wicked woman will only want to tear you down and take away your peace. Brothers, this is how you are able to discern if a woman is wife material or not. Continuing on. Sirach 25:13, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. It must be that bad. Continuing on. All right. Proverbs 6:24-26. For the commandment of the Torah is a lamp and a light, a way of life, reproof also, and correction. And why is that? To keep you continually from a married woman and from the calamity of a strange tongue. And yes, the scriptures say you do not sit with a woman that's married. You do not spend time with another man's wife. Let not the desire of beauty overcome you, neither be you caught by your eyes, neither be captivated with her eyelids. For the value of a harlot is as much as one loaf, and a woman hunts for the precious souls of men. Whoo, that's potent. That's potent, bro. Let me read that again. Let not the desire of beauty overcome you, neither be you caught by your eyes, neither be captivated with her eyelids. For the value of a harlot is as much as one loaf, meaning she's not worth anything. But a woman hunts for the precious souls of men, and souls have value. Why? Because a soul is eternal. So a woman that becomes a harlot has devalued herself. And in that devaluation of herself, she seeks after the precious souls of men. Oh, my. Whew. Let's keep going. This is Sirach 26:6-12. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with them all. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that has hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. Whoo! My. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. So no accountability. Drunk causes anger everywhere she goes, and she will act like she did nothing wrong. And it also says in verse 7, an evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro, and a man that has an evil wife is like he literally is holding a scorpion, stinging him constantly over and over again. Continuing on. All right, this is also Sirach 62, and we're going to continue on from verse 9-12. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty look and eyelids. Okay, brothers, do you hear what that says? The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. You can tell a woman is a harlot or is a whore by how she presents herself. And like I said, when I was in Babylon, before I knew who I was, and you know what I'm saying, and I was following Yahuwah, I would tend to look at them type of females and be like, dang, they would be the ones that would get my attention. They would be the girls in the club that I'd be like, yeah, I need that, right? So how a woman dresses, which is why modesty, we talked about modesty a little earlier, right? That being a trait of a righteous woman. Well, a woman who dresses like a hoe, who wants to be seen and noticed by everybody, that is a woman who you need to avoid. 10, if your daughter shall be shameless, keep her in a straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. If your daughter be shameless, keep her in straight, meaning keep her in that modest mindset, because she abuses herself through liberty. What does this remind you of? Sexual liberation. How a woman says, well, I feel liberated by having sex with all these men. I feel liberated. I feel like a free spirit doing all these things. A daughter should not be shameless. And that also tells you, as a father, it is very important to procure your daughter's innocence, because that daughter represents who you are as a father and what you're teaching her. Continue on, verse 11. Watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against you. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he has found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. So she'll open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when she's found a fountain, and she will drink all of it for herself. She will take all of it for herself. You have compassion upon her. She tells you, I need this, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And she will take advantage of a weak man. We can see here in the scriptures that there are women who seek after men that they can exploit and manipulate. A Proverbs 31 woman will not do that. She will apply her effort for your good. Now you see there's a stark parallel here. Continuing on. We got like 6 more slides to go, family. This is Sirach 26, 22 through 25. A harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Oh, wow. Powerful. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. So some of these men who have these wicked wives, they were given that by Yahuwah. Just like a man who cheats on his wife, commits adultery, divorces her, and then goes and marries another woman, and he don't understand why this woman don't respect him, why this woman is doing all this other stuff, because Yahuwah gave him what he wanted. Sometimes a wicked wife is judgment from Yahuwah. Believe it or not. 23, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that fears Yahuwah. So if a man does not fear Yahuwah, does not operate in Torah as he is instructed by Yahuwah, sometimes Yahuwah will give you a wicked woman. You think you won because you got the woman you wanted, but in actuality, you got a wicked woman. But a righteous woman is given to him that fears Yahuwah. 24, a dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. So she doesn't remove her husband out of the conversations. She doesn't pretend like she's, not married. She doesn't want to regard herself as, a unmarried woman. She takes pride in being a married woman. She takes pride in who her husband is and how he treats her, how he makes her feel as a woman. 25, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, galab, but she that is shamefaced will fear Yahuwah. A woman that fears Yahuwah. When I say fear Yahuwah, I'm not just talking about fear, like in a sense of like, oh, I just need to obey. I'm talking about you should fear him, meaning he can destroy you. You should be afraid of the Most High. And that's eventually a video I'm going to do very soon about why you should actually be afraid of him for your life, because that'll keep you on the right path with him, knowing that he can literally just strike you down anytime he wants. Yeah, that fear of him being the all-powerful, all-knowing creator is exactly why it'll keep you in line, because at any time he wants, he can judge you, he can take away, he can bring, he can bring all type of calamity upon your household. I mean, yeah, you should fear Yahuwah if you don't. Just saying. Continuing on. All right. The woman that you marry should be your peace. She should not have you in a place of constant frustration, argumentative, lazy, unfaithful, contentious, etc. Not every single Israelite woman is a Proverbs 31 woman. They are very rare and more valuable than precious stones. So if you do have one, do not take her for granted. All right. Sirach 7:19. Forego not a wise and good woman, for her grace is above gold. Ecclesiastes 9:9. And see life with the wife whom you love all the days of the life of your vanity, which are given you under the sun. For that is your portion in your life and in your labor, wherein you labored under the sun. A Proverbs 31 woman is a blessing from the Most High Yahuwah, and a man who has one has the favor of the Most High. Proverbs 18:22. He that has found a good wife has found favor and has received gladness from Yahuwah. I knew I had Yahuwah's favor when I realized that my wife checked all the boxes of the Proverbs 31 woman. All praises to the Most High.
All praises.
All praises. All praises. And that is it, y'all. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys again for being here. I appreciate y'all. Boy, we're only 2 hours in. We blew right through this thing, bro. We blew like right through this thing. Like I was not expecting it to like go so quick. I was like over 100 slides or almost 100 slides, bro. We blew through that thing in 2 hours. Like it's crazy, bro, how much time just goes by like when I'm live. I haven't been live on here in so long. Like I forgot how quick time passes. It's just wild, bro. That's crazy, bro. All right. Okay, so look, fam. Since we're done, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna play this video of the Candace Owens video that I'm working on Patreon. But like I said, bro, I will still come on here, but I'm doing most of my stuff on Patreon at this point. I just like Patreon because there's no censorship, there's no copyright. It's just YouTube is just becoming so increasingly just dead. You know what I mean? It's just not fun anymore. I'll still be here for the people who are on here, but like I said, if you just want those more live streams and more deep dives and like, you know, exclusive stuff, got to join the Patreon. So give me a 1 if y'all are ready to watch this video that I have about Candace Owens, because Candace Owens is controlled opposition. And I'm doing a deep dive on her. Because a lot of people, a lot of black people especially, I know it's a lot of black people are now, you know, identify with, you know, being conservative and all that. And they think she's one of our, you know, somebody we could trust, even though she an Israelite, bro. The people who she got proximity to, yeah, don't trust them. And she's married into like a demonic bloodline. Sounds like the Proverbs 31 woman is a gift from the Most High, a prize. Yes, definitely, bro. Absolutely. And like I said, man, Proverbs 31 women do exist, bro. I have one. You feel me? And I give all praise to the Most High for my wife, bro. All praises. But look, let me go ahead and show you guys this video. Give me a hold on. Let me see. Do I see ones in the chat? I see ones. Okay. All praises. All praises. So we're going to do the first 20 minutes. This video is like 30 minutes, but I'm going to just do the 20 minutes. And like I said, this will not be on YouTube. It'll only be on Patreon. All right. But I'm just going to give y'all a little preview of what I'm working on because like I said, I've been doing that work. So let me go ahead and full screen this. Hold on. Okay. All praises. All praises. All right, y'all. Let me share my screen, make sure sound's on and everything is on the up and the up and the up and the up. Because if it's up, then it's stuck. Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. Octria Phillips says I have to watch the replay. Definitely do, sis. I feel like every daughter of Zion should definitely watch this. All right, here we go. Whoops, my bad. Let me take that down. Give me 1 sec, fam. Okay. All righty. Barak Yahusha. Okay, fam, here we go. All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this, and we'll watch the first 20 minutes. To those who are just coming in, we already finished the lesson. We got through it pretty quick. So now I'm just showing you guys a video from my Patreon that I'm working on. This is just the first 20 minutes. Be sure to join me on Patreon if you want to see more content. I'm not really going to be uploading on here that much. I'll be going live here and there, but Patreon is just where it's at for me at this point. Here we go.
Candace Owens. Who is she really? Who is she working for? Who is she connected to? It's not just the fact that she has been connected to pushing anti-blackness against her own people. It's not just the fact that all of a sudden she's now the face of so-called conspiracy theories and truth. It's not that she's married into a satanic Luciferian pale-skinned bloodline. But there's more to this woman. And to the ignorant and to those still in the matrix, it'll just seem like what I'm saying is a bunch of bullcrap. But if your eyes are open to this world and you understand that there are many people who are agents, Candace Owens is no different. Let's jump into this. Now, one thing that is important to understand when we're talking about somebody like Candace Owens is controlled opposition. So first off, what is controlled opposition? Controlled opposition is a political or social manipulation tactic where a ruling power, regime, or organization secretly cultivates, supports, or infiltrates its own opposition. These control groups appear to be antagonistic towards the ruling power, but in reality are designed to be ineffective and steer popular anger into safe channels or serve as a red herring to mislead potential dissenters. All right. So in other words, controlled opposition is funded by the powers that be, but they act as if they're working against the powers that be, but they're funded by them. I will give you a perfect example. Alex Jones. For a long time, he was like the face of like the truther movement and, you know, people that understand this world for what it really, really is, right? He always talked about globalism and the Luciferian and all the Luciferian elite and all this and, you know, the New World Order and exposing it. But then when Trump started talking about the same New World Order, globalism stuff that he was warning about with the Democrats, he turned a blind eye to it and continued to support the man. Alex Jones is controlled opposition and is compromised.
At the end of the day, we're going to beat these people. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight. These people hate our children. Just take more calls. Go ahead. Who's the next person?
I had some up here bashing it because I don't like gay people. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap.
Candace Owens is no different. All right, because notice how Alex Jones never calls out these Freemasons, never calls out these banking families and these Jewish people, never calls out all these Indo-Europeans, them all being white, right? And then if you think about how he operates, If you look at Alex Jones, he used to be real crazy back in the day where he would be like ripping his shirt and yelling and screaming on camera. He is a lightning rod. So whenever people think of the term conspiracy theory, they think of somebody like Alex Jones, not somebody like me who's research, who shows receipts, who pulls out all this information. So what it does is it discredits people like me who research. They call us so-called conspiracy theorists, so they can automatically refuse this information, even though it's tied closely to the truth. And as I said, they're now trying to make Candace Owens the new face of conspiracy theories. But she only goes so deep. She refuses to call out that politics is bull crap. I mean, she's starting to say it now, but she refuses to acknowledge, if you're going to talk about Freemasonry, let's talk about the America was founded by them. How are you going to talk about all this stuff with the Rothschilds and the Jewish people and the banking families, but not at all talk about the Freemasons that founded America? It's very convenient that you're so-called patriotic and you love America, but you refuse to acknowledge that there were Freemasons who founded this. That's controlled opposition. She can only say so much. She can only say so much. I can say it loud and proud. And I've been banned several times for telling the truth. Let's keep going. Now, the purpose of controlled opposition can take many forms. Sometimes it can be to gather intel or information to take down a certain group of people, or it could be to undermine a group of people or a sect of people to discredit them. There are many reasons as to why controlled opposition tactics are used against somebody. But for the most part, they usually serve as a purpose to delegitimize or discredit or collect information from a certain group. You can even think about this when it comes to like house niggas. Even when you think about these informants who were meant to infiltrate the Black Panther Party and bring down Fred Hampton.
Expecting police action, the Black Panthers had fortified their office. FBI informant O'Neill was now head of Panther security in Chicago.
And I remember walking out of the office and looking through a little clearing over on the next block, which was right in front of the Monroe Street address, and seeing a lot of police cars over there. And at that time, Bobby Rush came to the office. He had just come from over there, or maybe the coroner's office. In any case, we walked back over there, and we both were speechless. We just walked through the house and saw what had taken place and where he died, and it was shocking. And then I just began to realize that the information that I had supplied leading up to that moment had facilitated that raid. I knew that indirectly I had contributed, and I felt it, and I felt bad about it. And then I got mad. I had and then I had to conceal those feelings, which made it worse. I couldn't say anything. I just had to continue to play the role.
FBI headquarters authorized payment of a $300 bonus to informant William O'Neill for, quote, uniquely valuable services which he rendered over the past several months, unquote.
So this is a tactic that has been used against our people and just in general, all across the board with politics and all this fake left and right stuff. You got a bunch of controlled opposition on both sides of the political paradigm, left and right. So you really need to just come out of all of this. You know what I mean? Stop taking sides, because there are people who are obviously meant to keep your mind in this way of thinking. Once you start seeing everybody as your enemy and a lot of people with platforms are working against you, then you won't fall for all these psyops. But our people always want to attach to something. Some new Black person rises up and our people are like, yo, man, they're speaking truth, man. They got answers, man. Meanwhile, you got people like me who are bringing out these facts and our people don't even want to hear it. And yes, even these camps are controlled opposition because there's a bunch of lies being promoted in these camps. These Hebrew Israelite camps. Controlled opposition. They work for Masonry. I'm not saying our people who are joining the camps are, but these leaders, a lot of them are working for Masonry. Freemasonry. So yeah, controlled opposition. So you really can't trust nobody. Like I said, controlled opposition do not get banned. I've been banned. So just keep that in mind. Now, in understanding Candace Owens, you have to understand who she was before she started jumping on this grift circuit. First, she was a liberal, and she actually created a website where she was doxing Republicans and people that were conservatives. Then when that died out, she ended up becoming Republican or conservative. Then she started grifting for Trump. And now that he's discarded her, which we'll talk about in a little bit, you understand how she jumps now to conspiracy theories. So she doesn't really have a solid ground to stand on, and she will go whichever way the wind blows, which is another tactic typically used by people who are controlled opposition. They pay attention to the populace, they pay attention to the target demographic, and they shift the narrative to influence those who are of that targeted demographic, which is very much, controlled opposition type of behavior. So let's look at who she was before she was conservative. And let's just look at this paper trail that we can find on her so we can understand that she's not who she portrays herself to be. Let's take a look. Now, the information that I'm going to be presenting moving forward, you have a decision. You can either accept it or reject it. But I don't have a bias for anything but the truth. I'm not on either side of this political paradigm or this fake Babylonian system, so I don't care. I'm just here to wake the people up. Whoever receives this message, all praises. Whoever doesn't, enjoy your delusion. Now, when we're talking about Candace Owens, the first thing you have to understand about her is that she was originally a part of Central Casting. Now, whether she's still tied to this company, nobody really truly knows. However, she got her start being a part of Central Casting. Now, there are many different organizations, modeling agencies, talent agencies that could be tied to Central Casting. But if you're not aware of what Central Casting is, it's usually how people are able to find work getting into the industry, starting out as like background characters. Or sometimes, somebody could be used in a music video or, just different forms of entertainment where they need people to be in the background, not so much like a main character, but just like background characters. Like, for example, if you look at a school scene, you'll see a bunch of children in the classroom. Not every one of them has a speaking line, but they fulfill those roles. So Central Casting is a way for a person who wants to kind of branch into that industry to be able to kind of get their face and self out there. Now, we know this is true because Candace Owens at one point was in a music video. Now, honestly, the song is not very good and, whatever, but just take a look real quick.
You can see the words, just sing along to the melody. Cause if you ain't moving and snapping, I know you better be like, oh.
Did you see her? Let's run it back one more again.
You can see the words, just sing along to the melody. Cause if you ain't moving and snapping, I know you better be like, oh.
All right, y'all. So as I was putting this together, I came across some very, very interesting information, to say the least. So let me go ahead and show you guys this article. This is crazy. It's crazy. Every time I end up doing research on stuff, I end up finding deeper stuff. So we were just talking about how Candace Owens was working with Central Casting. Well, the rabbit hole goes much deeper than that, because not only was it Candace Owens, but it is many people that are conservatives that got their start in Central Casting, specifically a organization called Explore Talent. Let me show you guys this real quick. This is very interesting stuff, y'all. So this article says rising Republican Party influencers got their start at a talent agency run by Israeli or Jewish pornographer. Interesting. Let's make this a little bit bigger. No diddy. Let's read this. They're prominent guests on Fox. They lead grassroots rallies. They write columns at The Blaze. They are keynote speakers at CPAC. A few were even used to blackmail perceived enemies of Israeli interests, and they all got their start as actors and models at the same Israeli-owned talent agency. Well. Those up-and-coming conservative superstars appear to have or currently still have active profiles up at shadowy Israeli-born pornographer Amir Sharifer's Explore Talent. That's the organization right here. So far, National Justice has identified the following household names in the world of Republican Party politics as being actors or models featured for hire on the site in the last 10 years. Of course, Candace Owens, who began producing professional conservative content months after launching her Explore Talent profile in 2017. Congresswoman Lauren Boebert participated in the site's gallery contest in 2011, 2 years before opening up the Shooter's Grill restaurant that brought her national fame and helped catapult her political career. Now, in case you don't know who this woman is, I'm going to just go ahead and show you her. So this is her right here. You got another conservative woman who has also been connected to this talent agency. See, I don't believe in coincidences, family. Y'all know I don't believe in coincidences. And this is also interesting because if you know about Trump and Erica Kirk, he and her have a previous relationship prior to Charlie Kirk. She was part of this modeling gig that he was part of. And that's where these Epstein allegations are coming out, because apparently he said out of his own mouth that he can go in there and touch the girls if they're naked and all the other, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but something along those lines. Nothing but a bunch of white pedophiles. That's all we got going on with white people. Anywho, and you'll notice that every single one of these people connected to this Explore Talent have millions and millions of followers. And this is what I noticed during the campaign back in 2024. I noticed that there were certain accounts on Twitter specifically that were being throttled by the algorithms and allowed to kind of ascend above everybody else. And I realized that these influencers, they are getting these accounts that are supercharged to be pushed through the algorithms. So no matter what they say, it's always going to ascend above everybody else. And I'm just like, so they basically have been bought out and paid for and given these accounts that will surpass everybody else in the algorithms. And that's why they're called influencers. They're meant to influence public opinion and thought. And honestly, influencers really are only meant for stupid people. If you're able to think for yourself and use your brain, then influencers will have no effect on you. Influencers for stupid people who don't research, who don't look into anything themselves and don't question anything. That's what influencers are meant for. So if you have never bought into propaganda by influencers, all praises to the Most High. You're an independent thinker like me. Yada Yahuwah. Now, she has 5.1 million followers, and it says Laura Boebert. Laura Boebert for Congress, CO4 Congresswoman, mom and Gigi with a fierce love for liberty, sent to drain the swamp. Yeah, right. And that's a Trump talking point that they've been using for a long time, and she's been on here since 2019. So she's definitely was playing a role. And all of these are pro-Trump individuals. Now, some of them may hate Trump. Deep down inside, they may not like him and may not like his policies. But because they've sold out, they have to continue to shuck and jive for this man, no matter what evil he does. And people are like, how can you not see this world for what it is? How can you not see what Trump is doing? I guarantee you a lot of them see what he's doing. But they've made a deal with the devil, and there is no backing out now because their livelihood is on the line. So they have to keep on playing this game. And Trump endorsed her. Actually, let's watch this video real quick, fam.
Lauren, you're going to do fantastically in your district. Lauren Boebert, thank you.
President Donald J. Trump has endorsed America First warrior Lauren Boebert for Congress. Trump says Congresswoman Boebert is a proven conservative who has led the fight to stop illegal immigration, defend the Second Amendment, and stand up to the radical Democrats who want to destroy our country. We need Lauren fighting for us in Washington. Stand with President Trump and vote Lauren Boebert for Congress.
I'm Lauren Boebert, and I approve this message.
Well, look at that. You sell out to the Jewish people, you get Trump to endorse you. So you can see that there's benefits that come with them, you know, being a part of this whole psyop and this whole Jewish, you know what I'm saying, influencer campaign thing. Now you got Trump to mention your name. So now you have some importance to the stupid MAGA people who just want to be mentioned by Trump and acknowledged by this white man who don't give a damn about them. So everything about this is all fake, y'all. And I'm here to expose that to you. But let's keep going because there's some other people here mentioned and we're going to look at them. Now, the next one is going to be, let's look at this. We have Tomi Lahren. All right. And it says here, Tomi Lahren, a familiar face throughout conservative media. She has previously worked at The Blaze and served on Donald Trump's PAC or PAC alongside Rudy Giuliani, who I believe is Trump's lawyer. She currently works as a contributor for Fox News. So Tomi Lahren, yes, she is a Fox News contributor. And let's check her out real quick. How many followers does she have? 2.8 million followers. So you can see when they join this psyop, they get pushed, they get influenced, they get very prestigious positions in the Republican Party. All right. So she's a Fox News contributor, host of Tomi Lahren is Fearless on Outkick, and co-host a big weekend show on Fox News and Fox News radio commentator. And yeah, man. Crazy stuff. Crazy work. Her. And someone's expected. All right. So we got another person from this Explore Talent Casting organization. And then this individual here, Scott Pressler, a homosexual conservative influencer often spotted leading rallies in the run-up to Trump's election. Pressler spoke at CPAC 2020. Now, this guy is an interesting case. Here you have a flamboyant, openly gay homosexual that is fighting for Trump and being accepted by the Republican Party. Now, conservatives are supposed to be anti-LGBT, anti-transsexual, anti-transgender, anti-homo, right? But yet, somehow, they've accepted this flying faggot. They've accepted this sodomite into their grips. So very quickly, I'm going to go ahead and show you him. And I mean, this dude is not even like a low-key homosexual. He is full-on flamboyant in every single way. And this is him right here. All right. And he has 2.4 million followers. And this is what he says on his Twitter. I helped defeat Hillary Kamala and organize the Baltimore cleanup. We delivered Pennsylvania for President Trump. MAGA, Maha, Barbs. All right. And let me just show you this guy real quick. And this is the little sissy boy that they've got, you know what I mean, helping to get Trump elected. Now, of course, there are no elections. There are only selections. It's all fake. And we know this. We all know this, family. But I'm just showing you how controlled this is.
I got a message for you. We are HOAs.
I saw how fake it was. But you have people who are 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, still voting, still believing in this fake thing. That's why I know the Most High called me from a young age. All praises. So this is him right here. All right, so look. We'll stop there, family. This is me. This is current Yekcyr. That was pre-recorded. I'm back here on Shabbat with y'all. So that's just a little bit, bro. But man, doing this video, bro, it just took me down a rabbit hole, bro. And that's not even the full video. That's just the beginning part. There's still more I'm working on. But yeah, bro, that's just a little preview. It's just a little preview. You know what I'm saying? Of what I'm working on, you know what I mean, with this deep dive on her. You know what I mean? Everything's a stage, bro. Nothing is real. And people have a hard time understanding why I just don't care about what's going on and what happened. And, you know, and it's just Yahuwah, bro, he woke me up a long time ago about politics. I have voted for Barack Obama twice. First time was in 2009. Then the second time was in 2012. At first, I'm like, okay, black man, make life better for the Israelites, make life better for black people. He fight for black people, whatever. So I voted for him for that reason. The first time, nothing happened, and I was like, okay, maybe 4 years. He needs more than 4 years. I'll give another go. But then I started seeing him push the LGBTQ agenda, and I just said, you know what, bro, this is all fake. There's nothing real about any of this. Like, so the last time I voted was 2012. I have not voted in local elections. I just saw it for what it was way back then. And still today, it's the same game. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of broken from the system, you know, in that sense. And it's like my eyes are really open to what this world really truly is. And like I said, sometimes it's kind of hard to be that kind of person because everybody just thinks you're like a person who wants to kill all their joy and their expectations of the world and all that other stuff. But I'm just a realist, bro. And I know what Yahuwah has for us is greater than what this world is currently offering right now. So I have no problem, you know what I'm saying, breaking out the delusion and breaking out the matrix and waiting on Yahuwah, because what he has for us, bro, is so great. So I have no problem breaking away from all this other stuff. This world cannot offer us anything like what Yahuwah has for us if we just obey. So I had no problem breaking away from the system. I have no problem rejecting it. I have no problem not caring about the freaking reparations. I don't care, bro. I don't care. I genuinely do not. Because I know Yahuwah got something for us. I know he is going to get us our reparations. He said we going to leave with something. He said all of this. So am I expecting legislation to come through? No, nigga. 400 years, bro, and they ain't gave us nothing. They not giving us nothing. I mean, not unless, you know what I'm saying, judgment comes up on them and they scared and they begging the Most High to stop, you know what I'm saying, destroying their family and their wealth and their children and their people. So then they're going to give it up out of fear. Yeah, I'm expecting that. But I'm not expecting no white man to say, let's help the Negroes out. Nah, nigga, they hate us. That should be clear by now. All right, y'all. Well, thank you guys again. I just wanted to show you guys a quick preview of the Candace Owens thing. I wanted to do this teaching about the Proverbs 31 woman. Yeah, I guess that'll be it for me. I will try to do more stuff on here. But like I said, right now, I'm just going to be on Patreon. But new music. Actually, you know what? I got to drop the video for... I didn't even put the video up, man. I totally forgot, bro. I was supposed to upload the video for the Nephilim seed and premiere it. So look, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna upload it right now. I'll chill with y'all, and then I'll meet y'all over there at the video premiere for that. I totally forgot to upload it. I was supposed to upload it earlier, but I spent all day, all night trying to get this lesson together for y'all. You feel me? But let me go ahead and upload that thing, and I'll just be here with y'all until it finishes, depending on how long it takes. If it takes too long, then I'm probably not gonna do that. But let's just see. Hopefully it won't take. I just totally forgot, man. I'm tripping. I spent so much time putting this together that I just like, I kind of got a little ahead of myself there. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hopefully this don't take too long. The Nephilim seed. Let's see. It's oh man, it looks like it's gonna take 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. Okay, fair enough. Let me just type this information in. The Nephilim seed lyric video. Genesis 6, 2 through 4. Genesis 6, 2 through 4. All praises. Okay, cool. So all praises. Like I said, this song is out. If y'all want to check it out, obviously the video is going to be up in a minute, but the song is out, and I'm dropping Black Radicals next week. Hey, wait. No, I didn't want. I did not want to use that thumbnail. What am I doing? I'm tripping. All right. I'm gonna also add this song to the Nephilim series as well, because why not? I did that with Lucifer's Children, so I might as well do it with this. If I do songs about this topic specifically, I'm gonna just add it to the Nephilim playlist, because when people are going through that, bro, they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna think it's a video, like, oh, it's a song. Okay, fair enough. I try to use all forms of media, bro, to like get the truth out. You feel me? Okay. Let me change the thumbnail. I don't like this thumbnail. Okay. Hang on, y'all. Hang on, y'all. All right. Barak Yahusha. All right. All praises to the Most High. There we go. Okay. So 8 minutes. 8 minutes, 8 minutes, 8 minutes, family. All praises to the Most High. Song is out. I'll just put it out now. And I'm also going to post the links to the other platforms as well. I'm sorry, I'm doing this on the fly right now, y'all. My bad. I did not have it ready, bro. Did I get banned on Instagram? No, I didn't. But I did like go dark on there for a while. I just came back on. Like, I literally I made a new account, new name, everything. Like, I just rebranded it, started all over again. So I had another account, but I just like shut it down and started all over again. So yeah, if you look me up, you'll find me. But before, I had changed everything, removed everything, took everything down, took all my content down. So everything's gone. The only thing on there right now is just the Nephilim Seed video and the Lamb That Was Lynched trailer for the movie. That's all that's on there. Like, I literally like just started fresh. You feel me? So yeah. I don't know, man. Social media to me is just not what it used to be. So I just don't enjoy it anymore. Like, if I got banned on Instagram, like for real, I didn't get banned. But if I got banned, I honestly wouldn't even care. Like, I don't know. I just don't. It's just like social media is just not what it was anymore. And it's not fun anymore. I don't even really care about losing the platform on Facebook or making a new one. And I did make a new Facebook, but I haven't even went out of my way to like get it out or like look it up or like or rebuild it. I just go there for information. That's it. Like, I don't know, man. I just think my days on these platforms is just really at its end for real. Like, and I know some people might not like that I'm saying that, but I'll always still do stuff. But it's just, I just don't really care about social media like that anymore. You know, I feel like there's a younger generation that is bringing out this truth of Yahusha, and this awakening and all that. And I'm kind of just letting these youngsters do their thing. You know what I mean? All praises to the Most High. Okay. 5 minutes. It's at 50%, y'all. Aki, you got a Tashuba song coming for the times when we all gotta repent. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me, bro, I just make songs based off of what I feel. People be like, you need to do this song, you need to do that song, ... I used to be like that, where people told me, gave me a song idea, I would do it. But now at this point, bro, I don't know. I'm working on my 13th, 14th album. I don't know what album it is, bro. I've done so many albums. I done lost track. I stopped counting after the 11th album. But like, at first I used to do that, but now it's just like I just make whatever I feel like making at this point. Like, I have another song called Bloodline of Shem that's going to be on this album. I have a Melanin song coming out. I got a lot of other stuff that's going to be coming out very soon. I had a name for the album, but I think I'm going to use a different name and like call it something totally different. So yeah, man. At this point, man, I just been moving like how I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that makes sense, like, You know, it's just what I feel at the moment. Sometimes like time will go by where I just don't make any music, or I just, I'm saying, I might just make beats, but just not write. Sometimes if I don't write at all, I just go in and just make up stuff. Like, for example, Behold Your King Yahusha. I didn't write any of that down. I just went in there and just made it up as I was rapping. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I write, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what I'm feeling, you know? All right, let's see here. But my message has always been Tashubah, repent. It's always been return to the covenant, return to Yahuwah, return to Yahusha. You know what I mean? Keep Torah. My message about that has never changed, never will change, because that's really the only way for us at this point. I mean, all these nations are against us. That is clear as day. If our people don't understand that by now, I don't think they're ever going to understand it. At least our people who are awake and know who they are. To our people who don't know who they are, I mean, you might want to try something else other than Christianity, because Christianity ain't working for you. You see Christianity nothing but a bunch of racism. You know what I mean? White Jesus. See, now Yahuwah don't want, like Yahuwah prophesied that we would serve the deity of the heathen, right? He actually said that was going to be one of our judgments of the curses of Deuteronomy 28, right? But now he's allowing the truth to come out about this white Jesus and all this other stuff, because it's now time for us to come back to the Most High. You know what I mean? In truth, we had to serve the deities of the heathens because that was the judgment. But now that the truth is coming out, that it's always been sour cream supremacy, bro. It's always been sour cream supremacy. It always has been. You feel me? Now the truth is out. Now people are starting to realize, like, something ain't right about Christianity. It's not just the lawlessness. It's not just the white Jesus. It's not just the KKK believe in the same dang deity. Every time somebody asks me, do I believe in JC? I ask them one question and they can never answer it. If the white man's God is who the slave was praying to, whose prayers were being answered? The slave master or the slave? I rest my case. I rest my case. Whose prayers was the oppressor's God answering when the slave prayed to it and the slave master prayed to it? Thank you. So what the heck would I be a Christian for, bro? That would be goofy to be. I mean, I'm just thinking back to, like, being a Christian. I'm like, I was really worshiping the white man's God, thinking he was going to somehow save me. Nah, just like, that was goofy stuff. All right, y'all. I'm about to drop this link to the video, Nephilim Seed, and it's in 4K. So be sure to switch it over to 4K. If you have 4K capability on your TV or whatever, be sure to switch it to 4K. I'm about to drop the link right now in the chat, and I'll see y'all over there. Nephilim Seed. It's gonna premiere in about 2 minutes. Nephilim Seed. Music video, or I'll just say lyric video is really what it is. Lyric video. Boom. All right. Dropped the link in the chat, and it should be premiering. Of course, it's the 5-minute countdown. So if you need to grab you something to eat or something like that, you got 5 minutes, 5-minute countdown or whatever. It's processing right now, but it should be premiering like right away. There it goes. Okay. All right, y'all. It's ready to go. I will see y'all over there. All praises. Thank y'all again for watching. Please hit the like button. Join me on Patreon after the sun goes down, of course. Join me on Patreon. We have a lot of live streams on there, uncensored content, deep dives. I did a 6-hour video about, or documentary about, cloning. That one is probably the most in-depth video you're going to see about cloning. So support your boy, join the Patreon. Remember, I am not monetized on YouTube. I don't make any money on here. If you want to support your boy, you know what I'm saying, support my family, all of that, you know what I mean, please be sure to join Patreon. All right. Love y'all. All praises to the highest. Yahuwah, Yahusha.